In the mists of time, there emerged four magnificent river civilizations that shaped the ancient world. In the cradle of civilization, where the Tigris and Euphrates flowed, Mesopotamia emerged, weaving tales of ancient wonders and vibrant cultures. From the banks of the Yellow River, a great civilization began to unfold. Once upon a time, a remarkable civilization flourished alongside the great Indus River, weaving tales of innovation and culture that would echo through the ages. Yet there was one that endured for an astonishing 3,000 years, the magnificent Egypt along the Nile. What factors contributed to the extraordinary endurance of ancient Egypt? What allowed it to endure when so many other ancient civilizations faded away? Today, we embark on a journey through the rich tapestry of ancient Egypt's history, beginning with the first farmers who found sustenance along the lush banks of the Nile, and culminating in Cleopatra's dramatic alliance with Rome. This tale goes beyond mere pyramids and mummies. It delves into the essence of a civilization that preserved its core identity amidst floods, famines, invasions, and occupations for more than 30 centuries. In a time long past before the majestic pyramids loomed over the sands and pharaohs asserted their celestial authority, the ancient land of Egypt was embarking on its journey to forge one of the most lasting civilizations in history. In the distant past, around 10,000 BCE, the North African landscape was a different realm, one where the climate was kinder, more inviting, and teeming with life. In the days of old, the early inhabitants roamed the land as nomadic hunter-gatherers, journeying with the seasons to pursue game and collect the bounty of wild plants that nature generously offered. In the sands of time, the early Egyptians whispered their stories through tantalizing clues, stone tools strewn across ancient lake beds, and rock shelters adorned with vivid images of wildlife that once roamed the land, now lost to history. In the era around 7,000 BCE, as the climate shifted towards dryness, bands of nomads found their way to the banks of the Nile River, drawn by the promise of its year-round abundance of water. This transformation heralded one of the most pivotal moments in human history as people moved from the ways of hunting and gathering to the embrace of settled agriculture. In the dawn of agriculture, early farmers nurtured the growth of barley and emmer wheat, tamed cattle and goats, and laid the foundations of enduring villages beside the flowing river. Every facet of early Egyptian life was intricately woven by the presence of the Nile. In contrast to other ancient river civilizations that grappled with erratic floods, the Nile's yearly flooding unfolded with a captivating consistency. With the arrival of summer, the river would swell, casting forth a treasure of mineral-rich silt upon the floodplain. In the heart of the land, a wondrous transformation took place as nature wove its magic-crafting soil so rich and vibrant that it became a cradle for bountiful harvests. The rhythm of this cycle instilled in early Egyptians a deep understanding of cosmic harmony, which would later unfold in their spiritual and philosophical beliefs. In the dawn of human civilization, early communities wove intricate burial rituals into the fabric of their existence, revealing a profound understanding of death and the mysteries that lie beyond. In the ancient landscape of Nabta Playa, nestled in southern Egypt, a remarkable feat of human ingenuity emerged around 5000 BCE. Here, the Stone Age inhabitants crafted one of the earliest astronomical observatories known to humankind. These stone circles, meticulously arranged, served as instruments to track the solstices and equinoxes, revealing a profound early comprehension of the celestial dance above. This knowledge would later weave itself into the very fabric of Egyptian religious beliefs echoing through the ages. As communities established their roots, the essence of material culture blossomed, weaving tales of their permanence. In the realm of pottery, unique traditions began to take shape, with the black-topped red ware of Upper Egypt standing out as a hallmark of this artistic journey. Artisans skillfully engaged with a rich array of materials from bone and ivory to semi-precious stones and ultimately copper. In the dawn of Egyptian artistry, we witness the emergence of a vibrant tradition. From the humble beginnings of animal representations to the enchanting fertility figures, and finally to the intricate human forms, each creation tells a tale of evolution and sophistication through the ages. As communities expanded and evolved, the signs of social hierarchy began to emerge, weaving a tapestry of relationships and roles within the fabric of society. By 500 BCE, some graves revealed a treasure trove of elaborate goods, hinting at the rise of elite groups who wielded greater resources. In time, these social distinctions would pave the way for the emergence of chiefdoms and proto-kingdoms during the late prehistoric era. The inhabitants of ancient Egypt were far from alone in their existence. In the annals of history, we uncover tales woven through archaeological evidence, showcasing vast trade networks that stretched into the Levant Nubia and even the far-off shores of the Red Sea. In the ancient tapestry of Egyptian life, copper from Sinai, gold from Nubia, and shells from the Mediterranean wove together a narrative of intricate exchange networks. These connections flourished long before the dawn of formal international diplomacy, showcasing a rich history of trade and interaction that spanned thousands of years. By 4000 BCE, vibrant and unique cultures began to flourish along the banks of the Nile. In the northern reaches, the Mahdi culture wove intricate ties with the Levant, while in the southern expanse of Egypt, the Badarian and subsequently Naqada cultures crafted societies of growing complexity. In the heart of ancient Egypt, the Naqada culture emerged its roots tracing back to a site near present-day Luxor. This vibrant culture would journey northward, setting the stage for the grand tale of Egypt's unification. In the twilight of the prehistoric age, rival centers of power began to rise, each vying for dominance in a world teeming with potential and intrigue. In the ancient landscape of Hierakonpolis, one can uncover the remnants of walled towns where monumental structures rise proudly. Craft workshops hum with activity, and the signs of specialized labor tell tales of a vibrant community. In the realm of Abydos, grand tombs whisper tales of mighty rulers wielding immense wealth and influence. In the heart of the Nile Valley, there existed a tapestry of proto-states, each weaving its own tale, laying the groundwork for the grand narrative of the unified Egyptian state that would follow. From these fragmented proto-states arose a momentous political event of the ancient world, a unification so deep that its symbols would continue to grace royal regalia 3,000 years hence. In the year 100 BCE, a remarkable transformation was unfolding. As bronze tools began to weave their way through the lands of Mesopotamia, and the first stones of Stonehenge were being set in place, King Narmer achieved a feat that had once felt beyond reach. In a time long past, the sovereign of Upper Egypt, hailing from the sun-kissed southern lands, embarked on a bold military expedition. With valor and strategy, this ruler triumphed over Lower Egypt and the northern territories, uniting them under one banner and giving rise to the very first territorial nation-state governed by a singular authority. The tale of this significant unification endures most vividly through the Narmer palette, a ceremonial, cosmetic slab intricately carved from siltstone. This extraordinary piece unfolds a narrative through its dual faces. In a vivid scene, Narmer dons the white crown of Upper Egypt, surveying the fallen foes before him, their heads severed from their bodies. On the other hand, he dons the crimson crown of Lower Egypt as he vanquishes an adversary from the north. The palette serves not merely as a reminder of a military triumph, it weaves a rich tapestry of royal symbolism that would echo through the ages of Egyptian history, marking it as the inaugural instance of a narrative steeped in propaganda and artistry. The brilliance of Narmer's unification lay not just in his conquests, but in the masterful way he established the legitimacy of his reign. Instead of simply conquering Lower Egypt, he embraced the role of the legitimate sovereign over both lands, weaving a dual identity that laid the groundwork for the essence of Egyptian kingship. This groundbreaking idea in political theology introduced the notion of the king as both a terrestrial sovereign and a celestial intermediary, laying the foundation for what would eventually transform into the institution of pharaohs. In the heart of Egypt, where history weaves its intricate tapestry, the Nile's geographic midpoint emerged as a beacon for Memphis. This site, rich with significance, stood as a testament to the union of the nation's political and cultural realms, embodying the essence of a land where two regions converged in harmony. In the annals of history, it is believed that Narmer, a figure of great significance, laid the foundations of a settlement known as White Walls. Over time, subsequent rulers would build upon this legacy, transforming it into a vibrant hub of administration and spirituality, destined to be the heart of Egypt for 8 long centuries. The imagery of togetherness also found its way into the adornments of royalty. In a tale of unity and power, the double crown known as Peskent emerged as the most iconic symbol, merging the pristine white crown of Upper Egypt with the vibrant red crown of Lower Egypt. When brought together, these once opposing symbols forged a striking visual narrative for the newly unified state. In a similar vein, the royal titulary started to weave together dual elements. The sedge plant, a proud emblem of Upper Egypt, and the bee, a cherished symbol of Lower Egypt, emerged as defining elements in the tapestry of royal names. Fascinatingly, while we often link the ancient Egyptian rulers to the title of pharaoh today, this term actually didn't become commonplace until more than a millennium after the unification of the kingdom. In the era of Narmer, the sovereign bore titles such as He of the Two Ladies Nebdi or Dual King, highlighting his significance as the leader of once divided territories. Once upon a time, the term pharaoh, which came from the ancient Egyptian phrase for great house, was used to describe the majestic royal palace rather than the ruler who resided within its grand walls. Beyond mere symbols, the coming together sparked real advancements, essential for managing a sprawling land. In the quest for a cohesive state, the emergence of hieroglyphic writing flourished, with some of the earliest known instances tracing back to this remarkable era. In the face of the vast challenges posed by an expanding kingdom, innovative solutions took shape. Standardized measurement systems were crafted, centralized tax collection was established, and organized religious practices emerged, all serving to unify and strengthen the realm. As the winds of change swept across the lands, pottery styles and artistic conventions that once danced to the rhythm of their own regions began to blend together, forging a unified cultural identity that resonated with all. Witness the remarkable journey from rival regional forces to a cohesive nation, a tale that stands as one of the most triumphant narratives of nation building in the annals of history. In contrast to numerous ancient conquests that faded away with the passing of their leaders, Narmer's unification forged a state structure of remarkable strength, one that would endure and retain its core identity for 3,000 years, even through times of division and foreign domination. Narmer's successor, kings, took on a legacy that extended beyond a unified land. They were charged with the formidable challenge of crafting a whole new system of governance from the ground up. In the aftermath of unification, Egypt embarked on a remarkable journey known as the Early Dynastic Period, spanning from around 3100 to 2686 BCE, a time that witnessed the rise of the First and Second Dynasties. In a remarkable journey, these visionary leaders took Narmer's military triumph and wove it into the very fabric of a lasting civilization, rich with unique cultural, religious, and administrative traditions. In the grand tapestry of this new nation, Memphis emerged as its vibrant heart, perfectly situated at the confluence of Upper and Lower Egypt. As the early dynastic kings took the reins, the writing systems transformed, weaving together earlier innovations into a tapestry of symbols that served as a vital instrument for the governance of the state. In a time long past, royal names emerged elegantly encased within rectangular frames known as sireks, the precursors to the cartouches that would come to symbolize the grandeur of Egyptian royalty. In the dawn of civilization, these early hieroglyphics unfold a tale of a swiftly transforming system, crafted not for the sake of art, but to serve the needs of governance. During this period, the transformation of royal burial practices reveals a captivating glimpse into the essence of early dynastic society. In the sands of Abydos, a tale unfolds as archaeologists unveil grand tomb complexes encircled by a procession of smaller, subsidiary burials, each whispering secrets of the past. The first digs uncovered something unsettling. In these subsidiary graves lay the remains of court officials, devoted servants, and skilled craftspeople, all of whom were offered as sacrifices to journey alongside their king into the realm beyond. In the grand royal tomb of King Jer, one could find the solemn remains of nearly 600 devoted retainers, sacrificed in a final act of loyalty. This ritual of retainer sacrifice, a practice that would eventually fade away in later Egyptian civilizations, reveals how the nascent idea of divine kingship sanctioned drastic actions during this formative period. In the days of ancient Egypt, as the realm grew and flourished, the early dynastic kings took wise measures to govern their vast lands. They carved the kingdom into distinct regions known as nomes, each under the watchful eye of a provincial governor or nomarch, ensuring that every corner of their empire was tended to with care and authority. In the heart of ancient Egypt, a remarkable system emerged, weaving together the threads of governance and order. This innovative framework laid the foundation for a formal bureaucracy, enabling the efficient collection of taxes and the wise management of resources throughout the newly united realm. In an extraordinary turn of events, this provincial framework would stand the test of time for millennia, showcasing the inherent strength of those initial administrative endeavors. In this era, we witness the dawn of a belief system that would come to depict the king as a celestial being during his life and as one who merges with the divine in the afterlife. Innovations in architecture paved the way for what lies ahead. The ancient mud brick mastaba tombs, with their rectangular forms and gently sloping sides, enveloped the sacred underground burial chambers, becoming ever more intricate in design. In a time of great change, certain royal tombs started to weave in stone elements, hinting at the monumental shift towards the all-stone structures that would come to characterize the following age. In those formative days, the trials with stone construction marked a remarkable advancement in technology, demanding fresh skills and a new level of organization. Amidst the unfolding events, tensions simmered and clashes arose. In the shadows of the Second Dynasty, a tale unfolds revealing the simmering tensions among rival power centers. Inscriptions whisper of a struggle, a clash of beliefs surrounding the mighty gods Horus and Seth, hinting at the deep-rooted conflicts that shaped their world. In the twilight of the Second Dynasty, a figure emerged, Khaza Khemwe, the last king to wear the crown. His reign marked a time of healing for Egypt, a land once torn by discord. His very name whispered of unity, suggesting that the two powers had come together once more. In a bold departure from tradition, he adorned his royal titulary with the symbols of both Horus and Seth, a testament to his unprecedented vision of harmony. In the early days of the dynasties, skilled artisans wove together traditions that would shape the visual narrative of Egypt for millennia to come. The unique silhouette of human forms, the use of size to convey significance, and the structured layout for balanced depiction. In the dawn of creativity, the ivory figure of King Den and the dynamic running pose emerge as early masterpieces, showcasing the remarkable sophistication that would come to define the artistic legacy of ancient Egypt. As we delve into the tale of Egypt's rise to greatness, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment with the onset of Dynasty III. In the year 2686 BCE, with King Djoser taking his place upon the throne, Egypt found itself on the brink of a remarkable transformation. In a time long past, a humble kingdom stood on the brink of transformation, poised to embark on a remarkable journey. This society was destined to create architectural wonders that would echo through the ages, unmatched for thousands of years to come. In a time long past, King Djoser, driven by a vision that transcended the ordinary, set forth a grand ambition that would alter the very fabric of human history. He summoned his ingenious vizier, Imhotep, tasking him with the monumental creation of a sanctuary for his eternal slumber. In a bold departure from the customary mud brick mastabasas, Imhotep crafted a visionary design that would give rise to the step pyramid complex at Saqqara, marking a groundbreaking advancement in both size and construction material. Soaring to a height of 204 feet and featuring 6 unique tiers, this grand edifice stands as a testament to human ingenuity, constructed with around 850,000 tons of limestone, marking the dawn of monumental stone architecture. The significance of this accomplishment on the mind is profound and cannot be overlooked. In the time before Djoser, the royal tombs stood as grand monuments, yet they were inherently fleeting, crafted from materials destined to fade away with time. The step pyramid announced a revelation, a testament to the king's dominion that reached beyond the confines of time. As the sun embraced the polished white limestone casing stones, the structure would have seemed to radiate a celestial light on the horizon, a timeless symbol of royal divinity visible from afar across the Nile Valley. The intricate layout encircling the pyramid showcases the remarkable spatial insight embedded in Imhotep's creation. Within the embrace of an immense wall, extending 640 feet in length and 900 feet in width, lay a ceremonial courtyard rich with ritual structures. Among these was the festival court, a sacred space where the king would engage in renewal rituals, demonstrating his enduring fitness to lead. Once crafted from fleeting materials such as wood and reed, these structures underwent a remarkable transformation into enduring stone, showcasing the versatility of this robust building medium in an architectural evolution. Imhotep's brilliance reached far beyond the realm of architecture. In the grand tapestry of ancient Egypt, Djoser's chief minister and high priest of the creator god Ptah stood as a beacon of the multifaceted genius, embodying the very essence of a true polymath. His vast understanding spanned the realms of medicine, astronomy, mathematics, and theology. His legacy was so profound that even centuries after he departed from this world, he accomplished a feat nearly unheard of in Egyptian culture. He was revered as a god despite lacking royal lineage. In the twilight of their era, the Egyptians revered him as a divine figure of healing and wisdom, with devoted pilgrims journeying to his sacred sanctuary in search of miraculous cures. In the era of the Old Kingdom, the idea of divine kingship reached its magnificent peak. In a time long past, the rulers of the land once sought to align themselves with the divine. Yet in the era of the Old Kingdom, the pharaohs emerged as the very embodiment of Horus during their earthly reigns and transformed into Osiris in the realm beyond. In this grand narrative, the king emerged as the vital link between the mortal world and the divine, the crucial figure who upheld the harmony of the cosmos. In this grand tapestry of existence, the essence of balance and truth unfolds, often depicted through the delicate feather, or the serene figure of a goddess adorned with that very symbol. Beyond mere concepts of truth or justice, Mad embodied the essential balance of the cosmos. In the grand tapestry of ancient Egypt, when pharaohs proclaimed their allegiance to Ma'at, they wove a narrative of their duty as the protectors of cosmic harmony. In the grand tapestry of existence, the king's diligent execution of sacred rituals, the careful upkeep of temples, and the steadfast protection of Egypt's borders were seen as vital threads woven to keep the fabric of the world from unraveling into chaos. In their quest to fulfill a sacred mission, the rulers of the Old Kingdom crafted what could be considered the earliest form of a genuine bureaucracy in history. From the shadows of complexity, a refined administrative structure took shape, adorned with distinct titles and roles, each playing its part in the grand narrative of governance. In a grand tapestry of governance, the hierarchy wove its intricate patterns, stretching from the esteemed viziers and chief ministers, cascading down through the diligent overseers, meticulous scribes, and the vigilant tax collectors. In this era, grand monuments stand as testament to titles such as Overseer of all the king's works and Keeper of the royal archives, hinting at a sophisticated system of governance that engaged thousands of administrators throughout the Nile Valley. Though Imhotep's step pyramid marked a groundbreaking moment in Egyptian architecture, what came next would surpass it in both grandeur and meticulousness. How could a civilization lacking modern tools craft structures so precisely aligned with the stars that they stray from true north by less than 3/60ths of a degree. In the era of the Fourth Dynasty, spanning from 2613 to 2494 BCE, a remarkable tale unfolds a time when the art of pyramid construction soared to its pinnacle, guided by the visionary pharaohs Khufu Khafra and Menkaure. At Giza, the grand tombs stand as a testament to the extraordinary skill and ingenuity of ancient Egyptian builders, showcasing their remarkable ability to organize and execute such monumental projects. Once upon a time, the Great Pyramid of Khufu soared to a height of 146.6 meters, a magnificent structure crafted from around 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2.5 and 15 tons, a testament to the ingenuity and ambition of its creators. The precision of the mathematics is truly astonishing. The base takes on a shape that is nearly a flawless square, with sides that vary by just a few centimeters, all while stretching over a remarkable distance of more than 230 meters. The journey of construction unfolded through a tapestry of skilled artisans weaving together a narrative far richer than what the average person envisions. In a tale often spun by Hollywood, the truth reveals a different narrative. These grand monuments were not the result of countless slaves toiling away, but rather the work of rotating teams of skilled Egyptian laborers, joined by seasonal agricultural workers during the annual Nile flood, a time when the fields lay dormant and the hands of the farmers turned to stone instead of soil. Excavations at the villages of laborers unveil a fascinating narrative of well-nourished workers who enjoyed medical attention and were grouped into spirited teams, each bearing whimsical names. Within the unfinished pyramids, one can find graffiti bearing names such as Friends of Khufu and Drunkards of Menkaure. These grand undertakings demanded an extraordinary level of logistical orchestration. Unique harbors were crafted to welcome limestone from Tura and granite from Aswan spanning hundreds of kilometers. The copper tools, ever so diligent, required a steady hand to resharpen them as they faced the relentless challenge of the unforgiving stone. The demand for food surged, necessitating a rise in production to sustain the diligent workforce, while skilled artisans were summoned to craft the elaborate interior chambers and winding passages. This grand endeavor stands as a monumental testament to the ingenuity of a civilization, showcasing the remarkable capabilities of a well-structured administration in ancient Egypt. Beyond their stunning architectural beauty, the pyramids functioned as celestial engines in the realm of Egyptian spirituality. The carefully crafted pathways were intricately aligned with certain stars, especially those nestled within Orion's belt, a constellation the Egyptians revered as connected to Osiris, the deity of the afterlife. Behold the pyramid, a magnificent structure that echoes the ancient primordial mound, the very cradle of creation. Its form captures the essence of the sun's rays as they gracefully descend to earth, illuminating the mysteries of existence. These were not just tombs. They were grand launch pads, crafted to propel the departed pharaoh to his rightful place among the celestial deities. Within the grand confines of Khufu's pyramid, the king's chamber reveals enigmatic characteristics that continue to baffle archaeologists. Among these are air shafts that, rather than serving to ventilate the space, align perfectly with significant stars in the celestial tapestry of ancient Egypt. In this chamber lies a sarcophagus of such grand proportions that it could not have been maneuvered through through the narrow passages we see today. This suggests it was carefully positioned during the very construction of the space, a testament to the intricate foresight demanded by such monumental undertakings. The construction of pyramids carried deep social consequences. These grand undertakings showcase the pharaoh's divine authority, illustrating his remarkable capacity to gather resources and labor in a manner never seen before. In their wake, they ignited a profound sense of belonging and ambition, bringing together countless individuals in a collective journey that rose above mere local ties. From the stars above to the foundations below, the wisdom forged in the fires of construction wove a rich tapestry of knowledge. This legacy, spanning the realms of astronomy, engineering, mathematics, and project management, left an indelible mark on the tapestry of Egyptian civilization echoing through the ages. In the aftermath of the Fourth Dynasty, the art of pyramid construction persisted, yet it never recaptured the grandeur or meticulousness of its earlier days. In the era of the Fifth Dynasty, the pharaohs chose to construct smaller pyramids, channeling their efforts and resources towards the grand creation of sun temples. As the Sixth Dynasty unfolded, the quality waned even more, reflecting the gradual decline of royal power. In a fleeting span of generations, the Great Age of Pyramids emerged, embodying ancient Egypt at the pinnacle of its might and order. This remarkable civilization accomplished feats that would echo through the ages, remaining unparalleled for millennia. As the pyramids gradually shrank in size, a significant change was quietly unfolding within the fabric of Egyptian society. As the grand monuments of stone dwindled in size, the idea of divine kingship blossomed immensely, forging a realm where the pharaoh represented a vast cosmic order, transcending mere governance of people to become the vital link between humanity and the divine. This transformation was no mere coincidence. It was a carefully crafted design. At the pinnacle of a grand theological tapestry, the pharaoh emerged as the embodiment of universal harmony, a figure woven into the very fabric of existence. Each dawn, as the pharaoh stirred from his slumber, the sun ascended in the sky, not by mere chance, but through the sacred rites performed by the king, the earthly embodiment of the divine, to guarantee the eternal rhythm of the cosmos. As he presided over ceremonies, he wasn't merely guiding religious rituals. He was, in essence, upholding the very fabric of existence. The expressions of royal authority grew ever more intricate. In the grand tapestry of ancient Egypt, the pharaoh emerged as a figure of majesty, seldom without his resplendent attire. The curved crook, a testament to his duty as the shepherd of his people, rested in his hand, while the flail, a symbol of his power to enforce justice, lay at his side. His distinctive headdress, adorned with striped cloth, framed his visage, completing the image of a ruler steeped in tradition and authority. These were not just ornamental features, they were a form of visual theology, elevating the earthly king into a figure of divine recognition, with an appearance that solidified his otherworldly authority. Across the ancient temple walls of Egypt, a captivating motif emerged with striking regularity, depicting the pharaoh fiercely vanquishing his foes. The allure of these smiting scenes lies in the fact that numerous ones were crafted during times of tranquility when no real military endeavors were taking place. These images acted as enchanted guardians, ritualistic moments captured in stone, the pharaoh eternally conquering the tumultuous forces to uphold the harmony of the universe. The adversaries depicted were not strictly historical foes, but rather embodiments of chaos itself, as the tapestry of royal authority wove itself into a more intricate design. The need for a broader administrative framework emerged, calling for expansion and adaptation. In the grand tapestry of the kingdom, the role of the vizier transformed into a position of unparalleled influence, standing as the mightiest among those who were not of royal blood. Frequently emerging from noble lineages or sometimes linked to the royal bloodline, the vizier held the reins of justice, taxation, and the essential workings of governance. Each dawn, the vizier would gather with the pharaoh to deliberate on matters of the realm before spreading the royal decree throughout the corridors of power. In the absence of the king, the vizier wielded nearly absolute authority, becoming essential to the realm's governance, yet forever remaining in the shadow of divine kingship. The vast economic landscape of pharaonic power flourished immensely within the intricate web of the temple system. Grand temple complexes stood not just as places of reverence, but as formidable centers of economic might, overseeing extensive agricultural lands, bustling workshops, and a multitude of laborers. As the new kingdom reached its zenith, it became evident that the temple domains wielded significant power, commanding nearly a third of the fertile lands of Egypt. With every offering the pharaoh bestowed upon a temple, be it land, cattle, or treasures, he wove a tapestry of divine and royal power, establishing hubs of creation and sharing that resonated with the very essence of his legitimacy. The roots of divine authority that upheld royal power transformed over time. In a time of great reverence, the solar cult of Ra rose to remarkable heights as pharaohs began to weave the title of Son of Ra into their royal identities. This sacred relationship was not merely a figure of speech, but a tangible reality in the context of Egyptian theology. It was said that the king emerged from the very essence of the sun god, a divine spark that flowed into the queen through mystical channels. Every pharaoh emerged as a vibrant embodiment of divine might, weaving a direct link between Egypt and the vast cosmic energies. The celestial force that coursed through the pharaohs was powerless against the impending doom, a downfall so deep it shook the very core of Egyptian belief and understanding. What power could ever bring down a civilization where rulers summoned the dawn and upheld cosmic harmony simply by being? Within the heart of a tumultuous tempest, the truth emerges, one that the ancient beliefs of Egypt were never equipped to confront. In the ancient tapestry of time, around 2200 BCE, the climate whispers of a harsh transformation as the lands of Northeast Africa and the Middle East succumb to a relentless drying trend. Once upon a time, the Nile, the timeless artery of Egypt, started to act in ways that were unexpected and mysterious. For years, the land suffered under the weight of low floods, leaving behind a trail of agricultural ruin that the centralized authority struggled to mend. These environmental catastrophes pierced the very essence of pharaonic legitimacy. Should the king possess dominion over the very fabric of the cosmos, one must ponder why the fields lie fallow and the storehouses stand desolate as the seasons turned and the crops withered time and again. The once sturdy framework of governance began to unravel piece by piece. As tax revenues took a nosedive, food prices climbed to new heights, weaving a tale of fiscal turmoil. The sprawling machinery that once orchestrated the building of pyramids and oversaw the nation's treasures could no longer be sustained. A profound shift occurred, striking at the very heart of the belief in divine kingship. How could the people place their faith in a living deity who failed to provide even the most fundamental of needs, sustenance? Archaeological evidence at provincial cemeteries unfolds a captivating narrative. Once, the nomarchs were mere extensions of royal authority. But in time, they began to see themselves as sovereign rulers in their own right. Their tomb inscriptions shifted focus from loyalty to the pharaoh, illuminating their personal triumphs instead. In a distant province, there lived a governor by the name of Anktifi, who boldly declared himself the supreme ruler of the gnomes. With a flourish, he proclaimed, "I have provided bread for the hungry and garments for the naked. I breathed vitality into the provinces when the heavens were shrouded and the land yearned for sustenance." Such proclamations would have been unimaginable during the zenith of ancient kingdom authority, when only the pharaoh could take pride in Egypt's flourishing. The swift unraveling of central authority set off a chain reaction in the political landscape. With the rise of nomarchs embracing their newfound independence, a fascinating shift occurred as they began to channel local resources away from the capital, weaving a tale of transformation and autonomy. In the grand tapestry of Egypt's history, Memphis stood as a vibrant center of administration. Yet over time, its grip on far-flung provinces began to wane. The decline in revenues led the pharaoh to forego grand building endeavors and the upkeep of large temple staffs, gradually undermining both his practical power and his divine standing. Pepi II, the final notable sovereign of Dynasty 6, personified this descent. According to age-old accounts, he reigned for an incredible 94 years, a duration that contemporary scholars argue played a role in the ensuing instability. As the years passed, true, authority became scattered among rival groups within the court, while far-off regions drifted ever further from the grasp of central governance. As his reign drew to a close, Egypt underwent a remarkable transformation, shifting from a once unified kingdom into a tapestry of autonomous territories, each offering only a whisper of loyalty to the throne. As the grip of central authority loosened, vibrant regional religious practices began to blossom and thrive. In the heart of the land, local temple complexes arose devoted to the provincial deities, their influence growing and weaving a rich tapestry that challenged the once mighty royal cults that had long held sway over the Old Kingdom's spiritual landscape. In a fascinating turn of events, the provincial elites chose to channel their resources towards local temples, diverting them from the grand royal monuments. This decision marked a significant shift in Egypt's religious landscape, forever changing the way devotion was expressed and experienced. Once, the cosmic powers flowed solely through the pharaoh, but now they have scattered like stardust, finding their home in a myriad of local cults and priesthoods. Signs of deterioration can be observed in the rituals surrounding royal burials. Once the magnificent pyramids stood as beacons of Old Kingdom splendor, their grandeur unmatched. Yet over time, they yielded to the rise of modest structures, crafted from lesser materials and lacking the artistry of their predecessors. In the twilight of the Old Kingdom, the final royal pyramid, that of Pepi II, stands as a testament to a bygone era. Its scale and craftsmanship diminished when compared to the grand structures that came before it. Following his passing, even these waning tributes became too challenging to uphold. By the year 2160 BCE, the very fabric of central authority had unraveled completely. In a time of great upheaval, the United Kingdom splintered into a tapestry of rival territories, each governed by its own provincial dynasty, weaving a tale of power and ambition. Once upon a time, Memphis stood proudly as the singular capital. But as the sands of time shifted, rival centers began to rise. Heracleopolis in Middle Egypt and Thebes in the southern lands emerged, challenging the reign of Memphis. What unfolded was a time marked by regional strife, rival royal aspirations, and a rich tapestry of cultural change, famously referred to as the First Intermediate Period. As the once mighty Memphis slipped into obscurity, two determined cities rose ready to vie for the very essence of Egypt. Between Heracleopolis in the north and Thebes in the south stretched not merely a span of land, but a tapestry woven with contrasting dreams for Egypt's future, emerging from the ashes of a once mighty divine kingship that had crumbled in its grandeur. In a time marked by fragmentation, spanning roughly from 2160 to 2055 BCE, Egypt found itself in the midst of an unforeseen cultural renaissance, all while navigating the tumult of political upheaval. As the stronghold of centralized power crumbled, a vibrant tapestry of regional creativity began to unfold. In the heart of the community, workshops flourished, giving rise to unique artistic expressions that broke away from the strict norms once imposed by royal craftsmen. The provincial tombs at Moala and Gebelin reveal a fascinating exploration of innovative motifs and compositions, a stark contrast to the rigid standardization of the Old Kingdom. In the heart of the Northern Kingdom, where the sands whispered tales of Old Keti, emerged as a visionary leader. It was he who laid the foundations of the Ninth Dynasty, a legacy born around 2160 BCE in the storied city of Heracleopolis. Their heirs held sway over the lush, fertile delta and sections of Middle Egypt, granting them a gateway to the bustling Mediterranean trade routes. In a time when food was scarce and chaos loomed, these rulers crafted their narrative, presenting themselves as the stalwart guardians against the shadows of banditry and lawlessness that threatened their realm. In the heart of the southern kingdom, nestled in Thebes, a tale unfolds of local governors who over time found their strength and declared their independence, marking the rise of the 11th dynasty. In the heart of Thebes, the rulers found themselves blessed with the riches of gold mines nestled in the eastern desert, alongside vital trade routes leading to Nubia. These treasures fueled their aspirations, setting the stage for their grand ambitions to unfold. In the days of old, the early kings of Thebes, such as Entef pharaohs and Entef II, embarked on a bold journey, pushing their realm northward and daring to confront the authority of Heracleopolis. One captivating element of this era is the way leaders had to earn their legitimacy through deeds rather than relying on divine sanction. The tomb inscriptions from this era reveal a striking honesty regarding a leader's tangible accomplishments. With a proud declaration, a provincial governor recounts the act of giving bread to the hungry and clothing to the naked, a narrative that unveils a fresh social agreement rooted in protection and provision, rather than one of divine right fostering loyalty through earned respect. This political fragmentation ignited a vibrant literary surge, giving rise to Egypt's inaugural works of commentary and social critique. The instruction for King Merikare, crafted by a Heracleopolitan ruler for his son, presents a wealth of insightful guidance. Master the art of words, for therein lies your strength. Words wield a power unmatched by any blade. Instead of asserting a flawless divine authority, these writings embrace the complexities of leadership amidst unpredictable circumstances. The admonitions of Ipu-Er reveals a remarkable shift away from the conventional optimism found in ancient Egyptian narratives. This extraordinary narrative unveils a realm utterly transformed. In a world where the humble heart dances with delight, the affluent soul finds itself cloaked in shadows of despair. He who never crafted his own path now possesses bullocks. Some scholars weave a narrative that suggests this reflects a response to genuine social turmoil, while others craft a cautionary tale that warns of the perils of forsaking established hierarchies. In the annals of history, we discover that during this time of waning central authority, the provincial elites thrived and carved out their own destinies. The tombs at Asyut and Beni Hassan reveal a rich tapestry of decoration and funeral artifacts, some of which rivaled the grandeur of the kings of their time. In a time of great ambition, local governors carved magnificent tombs from solid rock, each one telling tales of hunting, fishing, and the bountiful harvests that spoke of their prosperity. These grand displays of wealth flourished in an era where such opulence would have been unthinkable under the watchful eye of the pharaohs. The first intermediate period opened a fascinating chapter in history, offering a remarkable chance for individuals to rise and change their social standing. In the tales of tomb biographies, we encounter individuals who from modest origins ascended to positions of power, their journeys marked by skill and merit rather than lineage. The disarray of fragmentation, though politically tumultuous, paved the way for talent to emerge in ways that the strict confines of the old kingdom's hierarchy had long stifled. In a time marked by nearly a century of separation, the Theban king Mentuhotep II embarked on a remarkable journey of reunification around 2055 BCE, leading his people toward a brighter future. With a series of military endeavors and carefully orchestrated unions, he skillfully wove the threads of Theban influence further into the northern territories. His triumph was immortalized in the groundbreaking mortuary complex at Deir el-Bahari, where the classic pyramid elements intertwined with fresh architectural innovations, mirroring the evolving cultural tapestry of Egypt. From the ashes of the first intermediate period arose not merely a return to the past, but a transformation that would change everything. Though history often casts Mentuhotep II as the second unifier of Egypt, the deeper narrative lies in the profound transformation of the relationship between the ruler and the ruled, a shift that would resonate throughout Egyptian civilization for a millennium to come. Following his triumph on the battlefield, Mentuhotep II encountered the daunting task of mending a divided community. A fresh governing philosophy was essential for the newly united kingdom. In a time long past, the mighty pharaohs of the Old Kingdom held their reign in the storied city of Memphis. Yet as the sands of time shifted, the rulers of the Middle Kingdom chose Thebes as their new heart, marking a profound transformation in the landscape of Egypt's political realm. This was not just a shift in location, it marked a profound transformation of the very essence of Egyptian culture, religion, and governance. The ascent of Thebes ushered in significant transformations in the realm of faith. Once in a time, long past, there was a local deity named Amun. Though he started as a minor god, his journey was destined for greatness, leading him to become Amun-Ra, the revered supreme god of the state. With a deft hand, royal propaganda wove together the threads of this Theban deity and ancient traditions, crafting a seamless tapestry of theological continuity that bolstered new religious authority. Mentuhotep II, crowned as Nebe Pitre, which translates to Lord of the Rudder, is Ra, wove a rich tapestry of solar theology into his reign, all while firmly grounding himself in the traditions of Thebes. The rulers of the Middle Kingdom transformed the bond between pharaoh and subject, weaving a new narrative in their shared history. Inscriptions and literature from this era unveil a fascinating transformation in the portrayal of kingship. In the renowned narrative of the eloquent peasant, we encounter a tale where an ordinary farmer boldly seeks justice from the very fabric of the system. This fresh vision of kingship, one that embraces accessibility, is beautifully illustrated in writings that urge rulers to embody and articulate Ma'at. It implies that divine order is not merely imposed from a lofty height, but is instead brought to life through just and virtuous leadership. The evolution of architecture mirrored the shifts in political power. Mentuhotep mortuary complex at Deir al-Bahari stands as a remarkable architectural milestone, a creation carved into the cliffs that harmoniously blends the essence of traditional pyramids with the elegance of colonnaded terraces. This groundbreaking design wove together the threads of upper and lower Egyptian elements, creating a vivid tapestry of reunification and laying the foundation for a new architectural language that would echo through the ages in future monuments. The administrative system experienced a thorough transformation. In the era of the Middle Kingdom, a tapestry of new titles and offices was woven, highlighting the intricate dance of provincial administration. The role of overseer of sealed things took on heightened significance in the stewardship of Egypt's flourishing trade networks. In the ancient world, the meticulous administrative papyri tell tales of intricate record-keeping systems chronicling the ebb and flow of agricultural bounty and the diverse cast of characters involved in grand expeditions. The path to economic recovery called for bold and ambitious expansion efforts. In the days of old, the mighty pharaohs sent forth their valiant warriors on daring military quests to the south. They erected formidable fortresses along the Nubian frontier, choosing strategic sites such as Buhen and Semna to safeguard their realm. These were not just simple barriers. They held the reins of vital trade pathways, unlocking the treasures of sub-Saharan Africa. In the era of the Middle Kingdom, the Sinai turquoise mines buzzed with activity once more, while daring expeditions set sail for far-off lands like Punt, thought to be present-day Somalia. These voyages brought back treasures of myrrh trees, gleaming ivory, and a menagerie of exotic creatures. With this expansion came a wave of military innovation. In the era of the Middle Kingdom, the armies wielded remarkable innovations, such as the composite bow, enhanced body armor, and the fearsome khopesh, a sword with a distinctive curve that struck terror into the hearts of their foes. The literature of the time weaves together tactical narratives that detail the perfect formations and strategies of the battlefield, showcasing a military establishment that has embraced a new level of professionalism. During this vibrant Renaissance, literature flourished and thrived. In the heart of the Middle Kingdom, ancient Egypt flourished with literary treasures that have stood the test of time. Among these, the profound philosophical insights of the instructions of Amenemhat mingled with the thrilling escapades found in tales like The Shipwrecked Sailor. Meanwhile, reflective pieces such as The Dialogue of a Man with His Ba delved into the mysteries surrounding death, weaving a rich tapestry of thought and narrative. These texts unfold a narrative of a society deeply immersed in cultural introspection, challenging age-old beliefs surrounding authority, mortality, and the essence of meaning. Artistic conventions experienced a remarkable evolution. In the Middle Kingdom, sculpture took a bold step away from the flawless ideals of the Old Kingdom, embracing a more lifelike approach. Artists began to capture the subtleties of human emotion with furrowed brows, lined faces, and expressions that hinted at deeper psychological states. In the realm of royal portraiture, one could find astonishingly lifelike representations of aging pharaohs, marking a notable shift from the earlier artistic conventions that celebrated divine perfection. The royal portraits, steeped in naturalism, unveiled the weight of leadership, serving not just as artistic expressions, but as mirrors to the profound responsibilities borne by the pharaohs of the 12th dynasty. In an era when marshlands yielded to fertile farmland and fortress chains unfurled across far-flung borders, Egypt flourished in a time of extraordinary accomplishments, so much so that the pharaohs found themselves revered as deities while still among the living. In the era of the 12th dynasty from around 1991 to 1802, BCE Egypt flourished like never before, achieving remarkable strides in both governance and the arts. In the annals of history, the tale begins with Amenemhat the visionary founder of a dynasty. He laid down the foundations of governance, crafting a legacy that his successors would refine and elevate over the course of nearly 2 centuries of enduring stability. The throne transitioned seamlessly from father to son, a testament to remarkable consistency, standing in sharp contrast to the fragmentation that had once beset earlier times. In the era of Senusret-Reran, the second ruler of Egypt's 12th dynasty, the kingdom set forth on a grand journey of construction, one that would ultimately adorn the Nile Valley with magnificent monuments. In a time of great ambition, this pharaoh set forth on a grand vision, commissioning temples that stretched from the lush delta to the distant Nubian frontier. Among his most notable achievements were the significant expansions at Karnak, where he raised towering granite pillars and laid the groundwork for what would become Egypt's most revered sacred complex, destined to endure for centuries. In the Fayum region, the dynasty unveiled its most remarkable feats of engineering, captivating all who beheld them. In the heart of the land, a natural depression lay southwest of Memphis, once a realm of marshland. Yet the vision of the pharaohs, especially Amenemhat III, breathed life into this landscape, weaving a tapestry of dikes and irrigation systems that transformed it into something extraordinary. At the heart of the tale lies the magnificent Lake Moeris, a vast man-made reservoir designed to harness the floodwaters, releasing them like a lifeline during the parched seasons. In a land where the waters flowed like a lifeline, this remarkable hydrological wonder transformed Egypt's agricultural landscape, expanding it by thousands of acres. It nurtured the burgeoning population and yielded a bounty that fueled the ambitions of a growing state. In the grand tapestry of foreign policy, Senusret III stood out as the dynasty's most formidable military strategist, weaving a narrative of strength and cunning. In a time long past, when the sands of Egypt whispered tales of power and ambition, Senusret embarked on journeys to Nubia. Unlike the grand campaigns of his successors who sought to expand their realms through conquest, his expeditions were driven by a different purpose. They were quests for prosperity, aimed at safeguarding the precious gold mines and vital trade routes that flowed like lifeblood through the land. His approach wove together a clever blend of military might and the building of strongholds illustrated by a chain of imposing fortresses rising at measured distances along the Nubian border. These fortresses stood as monumental achievements of military engineering, showcasing an unparalleled level of ingenuity and design. At places like Uranardi and Shalfak, one could behold formidable double walls reaching heights of 10 meters alongside deep defensive ditches and specially designed barracks that could accommodate hundreds of soldiers. Yet they were not solely dedicated to military purposes. These places served as hubs of administration, bustling with workshops, granaries, and offices where the flow of goods between Egypt and its southern neighbors was meticulously managed. The remarkable cultural accomplishments of the 12th dynasty were truly noteworthy. The artists of the court crafted a unique style that vividly conveyed the deep psychological burden of royalty. Statues of Senusret III, adorned with furrowed brows and downturned mouths, tell the tale of a ruler who bore the weight of his responsibilities with profound understanding. This artistic breakthrough unveils a significant transformation in the understanding of kingship, evolving from mere divine entitlement to a weighty responsibility that demands wisdom and diligence. In this remarkable era, the fabric of Egyptian society was woven anew through groundbreaking legal innovations. In the annals of history, we find the emergence of standardized legal procedures as evidenced by surviving papyri that unveil the formalized protocols governing land transfers, inheritance disputes, and the intricacies of criminal proceedings. As time unfolded, the judges took on more specialized roles, while the local courts began to weave a tapestry of standardized methods that spanned the entire kingdom. In the era of the 12th dynasty, the pharaohs crafted a government structure that was truly remarkable for its time, striking a delicate balance between central authority and regional administration. The provincial governors held significant power, yet their authority was tempered by royal overseers who communicated directly with the vizier. This intricate system of checks and balances enabled the bureaucracy to operate smoothly, safeguarding against the independence that had once weakened previous dynasties. Despite its many accomplishments, the Middle Kingdom stood upon a base more delicate than its grand structures implied. The intricate systems that had lifted Egypt to remarkable peaks held within them weaknesses that, once taken advantage of, would bring forth a tumultuous age so disorderly that future Egyptians would almost wipe it from their chronicles. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the 13th dynasty found itself at the precipice of its fate, signaling the onset of its decline. In contrast to the robust lineage of the 12th dynasty, the later monarchs found themselves on the throne for ever-diminishing spans of time, with some ruling for only a matter of months before being succeeded. This swift change brought about a wave of uncertainty that spread across the realm. As each pharaoh ascended the throne, the winds of change swept through the land, altering policies and reshaping the ranks, slowly eroding the very bureaucratic foundation that had upheld Egypt's era of prosperity. As the grip of central authority loosened, the borders of Egypt began to blur, becoming ever more permeable. In the Delta region, Egypt's most susceptible frontier, there unfolded a slow, yet steady encroachment of Canaanite peoples from the Levant. These newcomers were not fierce conquerors, but hopeful immigrants in search of new opportunities in the thriving northern territories of Egypt. In the bustling trading hubs of Avaris, they found their place weaving themselves into the fabric of Egyptian life, yet never severing the ties to their distant homeland. In the year 1650 BCE, a pivotal moment unfolded as a band of Asiatic settlers, referred to by the Egyptians as the Hyksos, which translates to rulers of foreign lands, seized political dominion over the Delta. In the era of King Seleucus, a bold proclamation was made as they embraced the title of Egypt's 15th dynasty. They seized control of the most fertile lands, casting the native Egyptian rulers into a role of lesser significance. The intrigue of the Hyksos takeover lies not merely in its occurrence, but in the manner of its unfolding. In contrast to the later incursions by the Assyrians or Persians, the arrival of the Hyksos unfolded like a corporate merger rather than a hostile takeover. In the sands of Avaris, a tale unfolds of a city where Levantine architecture and burial customs intertwine with the age-old traditions of Egypt, revealing a rich tapestry of cultural exchange and coexistence. The seals and scarabs reveal Hyksos kings adorned with Egyptian royal titles and iconography, yet they retain their foreign names and cultural uniqueness. Their military revolution forever altered the landscape of warfare in North Africa. In a land marked by conflict, nestled between the ancient realms of Mesopotamia and Egypt, the Hyksos emerged as pioneers. They brought forth the innovation of horse-drawn chariots, crafted with composite wheels that prioritized swiftness over sheer mass. With these mobile platforms, archers could unleash their arrows and swiftly withdraw, leaving the infantry bewildered and unable to react, a tactical advantage that Egypt had never faced before. With the arrival of the Hyksos came a remarkable advancement in metallurgy, as they forged bronze weapons that surpassed the strength of anything found in Egypt's arsenal. In a time long past, in the enchanting land of Upper Egypt, specifically within the storied city of Thebes, the native Egyptian dynasties held steadfast to their independence, weaving a tapestry of resilience and pride. In the annals of history, the rulers of the 17th dynasty emerge as figures of intrigue, weaving a tale of adaptation and resilience. They embrace the military innovations of the Hyksos, all the while crafting a compelling narrative of defiance against foreign rule. The tombs from this era unveil a fascinating duality, embodying traditional Egyptian elements while also weaving in foreign weapons and military imagery. The challenge of piecing together this era lies in the lack of official records to guide us. In the grand tapestry of history, the administrative papyri fade into the background, overshadowed by the remarkable precision of record-keeping during the Middle Kingdom. Chronicles unfold as scholars weave together tales from personal inscriptions, remnants of the past, and narratives shaped by the hues of national pride. The very order of kings from this era continues to spark lively debates among scholars. The Hyksos period unfolds not merely as a shadowy epic of foreign domination, as later Egyptian narratives would suggest. The currents of cultural exchange moved seamlessly in both directions. The Hyksos rulers embraced the administrative customs of the Egyptians, honored their deities, especially Set, who was linked to their own storm god, and utilized the grand architectural styles characteristic of Egypt. During this period, sacred writings reveal a tapestry of creative theological blends that would leave a lasting mark on future traditions. In a time marked by nearly a century of fractured governance, the simmering tensions between Thebes and Avaris erupted into a fierce and open conflict. The mummy of Theban king Sekenenre-Tao unveils a tale steeped in violence. His skull is marked by numerous wounds from battle axes reminiscent of the Hyksos, hinting at a fierce end in combat against northern adversaries. His son, Kamose, carried on the fight, etching a victory stela that embodies the passionate spirit of the resistance. Why do I ponder my own strength when a sovereign reigns in Avaris and another in Kush, while I find myself in the company of an Asiatic and a Nubian, each man grasping a piece of Egypt? The dawn of the new kingdom emerged not in silence, but through a triumphant roar that would forever reshape the fate of Egypt. In the wake of a century spent under the foreign yoke of the Hyksos, a resolute prince from Thebes Amos, I embarked on an unwavering quest to restore Egypt's rightful sovereignty and honor. In the shadow of his father, Sekenenre-Tao, and his brother Kamose, both valiant warriors who fell in battle against the Hyksos, Amos rose to the challenge. With unwavering resolve, he ultimately triumphed over the foreign invaders, reclaiming the sacred land of Egypt around 1550 BCE. This monumental victory not only reunited the divided nation, but also heralded the dawn of the illustrious 18th dynasty. This triumph was not merely about freedom. It reshaped the very lens through which Egypt viewed the world. The echoes of foreign domination linger in the hearts of the Egyptian people, shaping a fierce resolve to ensure that such humiliation is never repeated. In a time of transformation, the once secluded kingdom embraced a bold military stance, reaching beyond its borders to forge protective barriers and safeguard its realms from looming dangers. Egypt, once wrapped in the comfort of splendid isolation, now yearned to seize its fate by asserting dominance over the lands that lay nearby. A transformation swept through the military, reshaping its tactics and organization, paving the way for this remarkable expansion. In a twist of fate, the Egyptians took lessons from their erstwhile Hyksos, rulers embracing and enhancing their military innovations. In the grand tapestry of Egyptian warfare, the chariot emerged as a pivotal force, a dynamic vessel from which skilled archers unleashed a flurry of arrows upon their foes, only to vanish in a swift, calculated retreat. In a world where valor and strategy intertwined, military careers emerged as esteemed routes to authority, with triumphant generals frequently bestowed with grand estates and significant political clout. The army transformed into a steadfast institution, evolving beyond a mere temporary force assembled for particular campaigns. Thebes stood as the vibrant soul and governing center of this rejuvenated Egypt, its significance amplified by grand building endeavors that honored the triumphant dynasty. Yet the genuine strength that upheld the throne gradually shifted to the priesthood of Amun, who had stood firmly by the Theban royal family in their battle against the Hyksos. In a gesture of deep appreciation, Amos and his heirs bestowed remarkable riches and power upon the temples of Amun, raising this once local god to extraordinary heights of significance. In a time long past, the union of Amun and the radiant sun god Ra gave rise to a mighty deity whose earthly avatars commanded great political and economic might. In this new imperial age, the driving force was the wealth flowing from the gold mines of Nubia, the offerings from subjugated nations, and the revival of trade routes that had fallen silent during the Second Intermediate Period. Amos, a visionary leader, not only restored what had been lost, but also breathed new life into Egypt's infrastructure. He set forth on ambitious quests, commissioning new quarries, and embarking on trading expeditions to procure the coveted luxury goods that the elite yearned for. Stone timber and exotic materials poured into Egypt in unprecedented amounts, igniting a construction boom that would transform the very fabric of the land. The rise of Egypt's new standing was not solely achieved through military conquest. In a world where alliances were forged through the union of hearts and minds, the art of diplomacy wove a rich tapestry of connections. Marriages between nations, carefully crafted treaties, and the strategic positioning of devoted stewards formed an intricate web that tied distant lands to the ambitions of Egypt. In a time long past, the offspring of distant monarchs found their way to Egypt, where they were welcomed into a realm of learning. This practice, a revered form of hostage-taking, served to secure the allegiance of their parents while gently weaving the rich tapestry of Egyptian culture and values into the lives of future leaders. The vibrant court culture that emerged during this time beautifully mirrored the evolving cosmopolitan essence of Egypt. Art, language, and fashion began to embrace foreign influences, transforming them into symbols of prestige rather than objects of rejection. In a fascinating blend of cultures, the royal family wove together elements of international style, all the while holding steadfast to their uniquely Egyptian religious traditions and regal symbols. In the grand tapestry of history, a vibrant cultural renaissance unfolded during the reigns of Hatshepsut and Thutmose III, a time when the artistry and architectural marvels of Egypt soared to unprecedented levels of elegance and creativity. This practical embrace of external concepts would soon bring forth rewards far beyond the wildest dreams of Egypt's leaders. In its prime, the Empire of Egypt unfurled across a vast expanse of 2,000 miles from the northern reaches to the southern lands, as conquered realms delivered a continuous flow of riches straight to the pharaoh's coffers. In the grand tapestry of history, the visionary leaders of the 18th dynasty wove a narrative that evolved from mere defense into a remarkable empire unmatched in its ambition and scope. Thutmose I ventured beyond the known realms of Egypt, embarking on bold campaigns that reached deep into the lands of Syria, where he boldly established a frontier at the mighty Euphrates River. In a grand celebration of triumph, he raised a victory stele by the river, boldly proclaiming to the world the northeastern boundary of Egypt. Yet, it was his grandson Thutmose III who truly carved his name into the annals of history as Egypt's most formidable military leader. Upon ascending the throne, following Hatshepsut's passing, he embarked on a remarkable journey, leading 17 campaigns over 2 decades as he methodically brought lands from Sudan to Syria under his control. In the annals of history, one of his most renowned triumphs unfolded at Megiddo, a battleground where he confronted a formidable alliance of Canaanite princes. As his generals urged caution and suggested a safer path around the city, Thutmose, with unwavering resolve, proclaimed, "I shall tread the road of Megiddo. If your heart truly beats for me, then take my hand and walk beside me." As he guided his troops through the winding pass, an unexpected strike caught the enemy off guard, sending their ranks into disarray. and establishing a vital stronghold in the Levant. For 7 long months, the siege of Megiddo unfolded, culminating in the surrender of many city-states. Under the reign of these formidable pharaohs, the Egyptian military evolved into a marvel of sophistication. In addition to their chariots, they harnessed the skills of dedicated groups of archers, infantry, and scouts, each playing a vital role in their grand strategy. Amenhotep II, the son of Thutmose III, proudly proclaimed his exceptional skills in battle, asserting that he could pierce copper targets with his arrows while racing in a chariot at full speed. Regardless of their authenticity, these narratives bolstered the perception of the pharaoh as an unbeatable warrior king. One of the most fascinating aspects was the intricate web of administrative structures that upheld the vast reach of imperial power. In the vast expanse of its conquered lands, Egypt wove a tapestry of garrison towns, each one a hub of military might, overseen by commanders supported by tax collectors, and graced with the presence of diplomatic envoys. Local rulers who yielded to Egyptian authority were granted the privilege of keeping their lands on the condition that they sent their heirs to Egypt for education, a subtle yet effective method of securing loyalty and ensuring obedience. Through this clever system of indirect governance, Egypt was able to extend its reach over expansive lands while relying on a surprisingly small number of personnel. The chronicles of these victories were carefully inscribed for posterity. Within the grand walls of Karnak Temple, Thutmose III set forth the annals, a vivid tapestry of his campaigns, weaving together meticulous records of his conquests, including the impressive tally of 924 chariots, 2,041 horses, 503 foreign nobles taken captive, and vast treasures of gold and silver. These were not just empty claims. They acted as compelling instruments of persuasion, showcasing the pharaoh's divine right to uphold the harmony of the universe through unmatched military strength. This remarkable tale of imperial triumph reshaped the very fabric of Egyptian society. In a world where opulence reigned, foreign goods emerged as the ultimate markers of prestige. Palatial walls were brought to life with Minoan-inspired frescoes, while Levantine jewelry found its final resting place in the tombs of the noble. Meanwhile, royal tables were lavishly set with an array of exotic foods, each dish a testament to the grandeur of the elite. In the tapestry of ancient beliefs, the Canaanite deities such as Baal and Astarte wove their way into the rich fabric of Egyptian religious traditions. In the tapestry of the Egyptian language, one can find threads woven from the tongues of its conquered peoples, especially in the realms of military and trade, where countless loanwords have taken root. In the grand tapestry of the empire's evolution, a new cadre of officials emerged, distinguished by their worldly experience and mastery of multiple tongues. In a world where royal messengers journeyed between courts, they bore the weight of diplomatic correspondence, their paths woven with intrigue. Meanwhile, cunning spies cloaked in the guise of humble merchants roamed the land, gathering whispers of potential threats that lingered in the shadows. In the ancient world, the renowned Amarna letters serve as a fascinating glimpse into the intricate web of diplomacy that connected Egypt with formidable neighbors such as the Hittites, Mitanni Assyrians, and Babylonians, all conveyed through the elegant script of Akkadian cuneiform. Among the pharaohs who left their mark on Egyptian monuments, one shines uniquely, not for conquests on the battlefield, but for breaking through the age-old confines of gender roles. When Thutmose II met his untimely end around 1479 BCE, few could have foreseen the remarkable journey of his widow. She would rise from the role of queen regent to become Egypt's most formidable female pharaoh, a leader whose legacy would loom so large that subsequent kings would strive to erase her from the annals of history. In the early days of her reign, Hatshepsut followed the traditional path, acting as regent for her young stepson, Thutmose III. However, as time passed, she made a bold and remarkable choice, proclaiming herself king of both Upper and Lower Egypt. This was not just a shift in designation. Hatshepsut masterfully transformed the landscape of Egyptian kingship, commissioning statues that depicted her adorned in the traditional male regalia, complete with the iconic false beard of the pharaohs, all while embracing her identity as a woman. In certain portrayals, she manifests a robust physique, while in others, her graceful femininity subtly shines through the regal emblems of authority. The intricate dance of politics that paved the way for Hatshepsut's ascent showcases her remarkable skill in diplomacy. Instead of completely sidelining Thutmose III, she chose to keep him as a co-ruler, all the while subtly asserting her dominance over the throne. She garnered the vital backing of influential figures, especially Senenmut, who ascended from modest beginnings to become her principal architect and perhaps her most trusted ally. Her influence reached deep into the revered priesthood of Amun, where she generously expanded the temples, securing the divine blessing for her unorthodox reign. In a time when many sought glory through conquest, Hatshepsut carved her own path, emphasizing the flourishing of Egypt's economy rather than the clamor of war. While her male counterparts chased the accolades of battlefield triumphs, she dedicated her efforts to revitalizing the ancient trading routes that would bring prosperity to her land. Her most renowned diplomatic triumph was the journey to the fabled land of Punt, forever captured in intricate reliefs adorning her mortuary temple. Behold the intricate carvings that depict Egyptian vessels brimming with treasures, myrrh trees, fragrant frankincense, gleaming gold, exquisite ivory, and a menagerie of exotic creatures, from playful baboons to majestic leopards. The Punt expedition emerged not merely as a triumph of trade, but as a grand spectacle of political finesse, showcasing Egypt's vast influence and Hatshepsut's remarkable skill in securing rare treasures without the need for conflict. In a grand narrative of transformation, Hatshepsut reshaped the very landscape of Egypt through her architectural vision. Her crowning achievement, the mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari, stands as a testament to the ingenuity of ancient Egyptian design, weaving together artistry and purpose in a remarkable structure. Nestled within the cliffs that face Thebes, this graceful terraced design, adorned with colonnaded facades, weaves a seamless tapestry of architectural finesse and the beauty of the surrounding landscape. The temple stood as a testament to her reign, a sacred space for her mortuary cult, and a striking display of the power that affirmed her legitimacy as pharaoh. To strengthen her claim to the throne, Hatshepsut wielded theology with exceptional finesse. She commissioned intricate reliefs that illustrated her divine conception. The god Amun cloaked in the visage of her father Thutmose. I graced her mother with his presence, bestowing upon Hatshepsut not merely a royal lineage, but a divine origin as well. This tale of beginnings lifted her assertion beyond the trivialities of human affairs, placing it within the grand tapestry of the universe's design. She highlighted her vital contribution to upholding the cosmic balance through the restoration of monuments, the revival of trade routes, and the grand celebration of religious festivals like never before. For around 22 years, Hatshepsut presided over a time of tranquility and abundance in Egypt. Following her passing, Thutmose III, now the sole ruler, embarked on a deliberate quest to erase her presence from the annals of history. Her name and likeness were carved into stone, yet her statues lay shattered and forgotten, her accomplishments claimed by the shadows of male pharaohs. This act of erasure was not just a matter of personal vendetta. It symbolized a broader attempt to reclaim the traditionally male-dominated essence of Egyptian kingship that Hatshepsut had boldly confronted. In the annals of Egyptian history, there are but a handful of figures who dared to challenge the status quo. Yet one pharaoh, later known as Akhenaten, embarked on a bold journey that sent ripples through the fabric of society. His revolutionary ideas were so unsettling that in the years that followed, the people of Egypt would go to great lengths to erase the memory of his reign. In a time when pharaohs such as Hatshepsut dared to push the boundaries of tradition, Amenhotep IV boldly dismantled the very core of Egypt's religious beliefs. In the year 1380 BCE, a figure named Amenhotep IV emerged initially adhering to the traditional ways of rule. However, in the 5th year of his reign, a profound spiritual awakening took hold of him, setting in motion a series of changes that would profoundly reshape the fabric of Egyptian society. In a remarkable turn of events, the revered assembly of deities, Amun-Ra, Osiris, Isis, and countless others found themselves overshadowed by the emergence of one singular god, the Aten. This divine entity was depicted as a radiant sun disk, its rays extending into hands that reached out to the faithful. This act transcended the simple elevation of one divine figure. It was, in essence, the erasure of reverence for all other gods. In a bold move to solidify this religious transformation, Amenhotep IV adopted the name Akhenaten, which translates to the effective spirit of the Aten, marking a definitive departure from the established norms. In a bold and striking move, he turned his back on the storied capital of Thebes with its grand Amun temples and forged a new city from the sands of the desert. In the time of Akhenaten, the horizon of the Aten, a remarkable metropolis, emerged known today as Amarna, crafted meticulously within a mere few years, with open-air temples allowing the sun's rays to caress the altars, palaces standing proudly without roofs, and wide avenues tracing the sun's journey. The revolution blossomed, weaving its influence through the realms of art and culture. For over a millennium, the artistic conventions of Egypt stood steadfast. But then, like a sudden gust of wind, a new style emerged so unique and striking that archaeologists could instantly identify it as Amarna art. In the realm of ancient royalty, one could observe figures like Akhenaten, who bore the striking features of elongated skulls, graceful feminine hips, full lips, and slender limbs, each detail weaving a tale of their own. In a striking portrayal, the pharaoh emerges in tender family moments, sharing kisses with his children, enjoying meals with his wife, or simply unwinding, revealing a side of the divine ruler that had never been seen before. Queen Nefertiti, a name that whispers of beauty and grace, was not just a consort. She stood as a powerful co-ruler, gracing scenes that were typically the domain of kings. The renowned limestone bust, unearthed in 1912, captures not only her iconic beauty, but also her profound political importance. In the temple reliefs, she is depicted adorned with the pharaoh's crown, striking down foes. Actions once reserved for male sovereigns. In the aftermath of Akhenaten's reign, whispers among scholars suggest that Nefertiti might have taken the throne herself, adopting the regal name Neferneferuaten, or perhaps Spenkakare, for a fleeting moment in history. As the fervor of the religious upheaval captivated Akhenaten's focus, the great expanse of Egypt's empire started to unravel at its fringes. Amidst the sands of time, letters unearthed at Amarna tell a tale of vassal kings, their voices rising in urgency as they implore for the might of Egyptian warriors to fend off the looming shadows of their adversaries. In the land of Syria, the Hittites wove their influence, while in Canaan, the whispers of local rebellion stirred the air, challenging the grip of Egyptian power. Akhenaten's reply was brief. His focus seemed to lie more in the meticulous execution of sacred rites than in the pursuit of global dominance. Within the borders of Egypt, the transformation stirred a wave of discontent among the people. Once the priesthood of Amun stood as the mightiest and richest religious force in the realm, but now it has been all but dissolved. Their sacred places stood silent, their identities erased from the stones, and their immense wealth shifted towards the veneration of Aten. Everyday Egyptians suddenly found themselves distanced from the deities that had long presided over the intricate tapestry of their daily existence. As the sands of time swept away Akhenaten's name, his successors emerged, destined to be etched into the annals of archaeology, though not for any remarkable feats achieved during his reign. The intriguing contradiction of Tutankhamun unfolds in the way his seemingly ordinary reign led to one of history's most extraordinary archaeological finds. In the wake of Akhenaten's transformative religious upheaval, Egypt stood at a crossroads, led by a young monarch, a mere boy of 9 summers. Tutankhamun ascended not merely to a throne, but to a realm steeped in spiritual turmoil. In the heart of the court, where shadows danced with whispers of authority, 2 figures emerged as the true architects of power. The wise aged advisor Ai and the formidable military commander Horemheb understood the pressing call to revive the sacred traditions of Egypt's religious tapestry. These men stood resilient through the tumult of Akhenaten's revolution, observing the decline of Egypt's stature on the world stage and the unraveling of its unity from within. With the impressionable young leader at the helm, they quickly set about mending the wounds of the past. In the annals of Tutankhamun's reign, one document stands out as a beacon of significance: the Restoration Stele. This proclamation unfolds a somber narrative revealing the stark realities of Egypt under the shadow of Atenism. The temples and the cities of the divine had succumbed to the passage of time, their once majestic shrines now reduced to crumbling heaps, overtaken by wild weeds that whispered tales of a forgotten glory. The stele stood as a symbol of more than just administrative reform. It wove a narrative of theological correction, illustrating how the gods had forsaken Egypt in the wake of Akhenaten's heretical reign. Behind this royal decree loomed Ai, the vizier of Tutankhamun, a figure shrouded in the mists of lineage, possibly a grandfather or great-uncle. In the midst of the Amarna period, Ai navigated the shifting tides of Akhenaten's religious fervor, skillfully balancing the new with the old, preserving the essence of tradition while embracing the demands of change. With a young monarch in his care, Ai masterfully steered Egypt towards a renaissance of its spiritual traditions. By his side, General Horemheb took charge of military matters, striving to restore Egypt's overlooked international ties and strengthen its defenses. The young king emerged as the ideal embodiment of spiritual renewal. The structures at Karnak Temple depict the young pharaoh Tutankhamun presenting offerings to Amun-Ra and various revered deities of the time. Expert artisans were summoned to restore the revered statues of the deities. The cartouches of Tutankhamun grace the restored monuments scattered across Egypt, serving as a powerful emblem of their reclamation for the Orthodox faith. In a realm where the divine and the earthly intertwined, these actions emerged not as hollow gestures of faith, but as a fervent attempt to reclaim Ma'at, the sacred balance in a kingdom thought to have spiraled into disarray under the reign of Akhenaten. In the midst of these endeavors, the young pharaoh Tutankhamun found his grasp on the reins of power to be quite tenuous during his brief existence. The analysis of his mummy reveals a tale of struggle marked by various physical ailments. Among them was a clubfoot, a condition that compelled him to rely on walking sticks, as evidenced by the numerous ones discovered within his tomb. Examination unveiled signs of malaria infections that could have further compromised his already delicate health. The health challenges he faced, likely stemming from the royal family's tradition of marrying within the bloodline, constrained his ability to influence governance significantly. In the shadowy corridors of history, the young pharaoh Tutankhamun met his untimely end at the tender age of 18 or 19, leaving behind a kingdom without an heir to carry on his legacy. In a world of uncertainty, the young widow, Ankhesenamun, found herself navigating a delicate and challenging situation. In a tale woven through time, archaeological whispers hint at her plight as she penned urgent letters to the Hittite king, beseeching him for one of his sons to become her husband. This bold diplomatic maneuver, however, ended in disappointment. In a twist of fate, the venerable A ascended to the throne, uniting with Ankhesenamun to solidify his claim, paving the way for Horemheb to ultimately take his place. The military men would ensure that the Amarna period vanished from the annals of official history. Had the tapestry of history woven itself in another way, Tutankhamun could have faded into the shadows of obscurity, a mere whisper in the annals of time. In the year 1922, the world was captivated by Howard Carter's remarkable discovery of a nearly intact tomb nestled in the Valley of the Kings, elevating this once minor king to the status of archaeology's most celebrated figure. The magnificent funerary artifacts, highlighted by the iconic solid gold mask that epitomizes ancient Egypt, showcase the extraordinary artistry of that era. From the depths of his burial chamber, 398 cataloged items emerge, offering us a vivid glimpse into the royal funeral practices of the New Kingdom. Following the religious revival in Egypt under Tutankhamun, the empire sought a path that transcended mere tradition. It called for a leader whose legacy would be etched not merely in stone, but in the collective memory of humanity. In a time when pharaohs adorned themselves with claims of divinity, one rose above the rest, weaving a narrative so compelling that even after 3,000 years, he is remembered by all as the Great. In the heart of the 19th dynasty, around 1303 BCE, a young Ramses II took the throne in his early 20s, stepping into the legacy left by his father, Seti. What unfolded was a remarkable 66-year reign, a time that would reshape the very essence of Egypt, leaving an indelible mark on its land and culture. Upon reaching the extraordinary age of 90, Ramses had woven a tapestry of life, fathering more than 100 children with his many wives and concubines, thus crafting a dynasty within a dynasty. The grandeur of Ramses' architectural dreams is nearly beyond our grasp. While earlier pharaohs crafted remarkable monuments, Ramses took it to a level that approached the extraordinary. The temples at Abu Simbel rise majestically, embodying an extraordinary feat of artistry hewn from the very sandstone cliffs that gaze down upon the flowing Nile. At the grand entrance of the main temple, 4 towering figures of Ramses stand sentinel, each an impressive 66 feet tall, embodying the might and majesty of a bygone era. In a remarkable feat of engineering, the temple was crafted with impeccable astronomical precision. Twice a year, on the 22nd of February and October, the sun rises to cast its radiant light through the temple's corridors, illuminating the majestic statues of Ramses and the divine figures of Amun and Ra, while the god of the underworld Ptah remains shrouded in shadow, a poignant reminder of the balance between light and darkness. Beyond the majestic Abu Simbel, Ramses embarked on a grand journey, expanding and constructing a multitude of magnificent temples, a myriad of statues, and entire cities that echoed his legacy. In the heart of ancient Egypt stood the Ramesseum, a mortuary temple that housed a magnificent seated colossus, a monumental creation tipping the scales at over 1,000 tons. This marvel of engineering would pose a formidable challenge even to today's builders. In the grand realms of Karnak and Luxor, towering columns and expansive courtyards proudly displayed his name. Meanwhile, his newly established capital, Pi Ramses in the Delta, blossomed into one of the largest cities of the ancient world, its brilliance likened to the shimmering horizon of the heavens. Though often celebrated for his grand constructions, Ramses forged his military legacy from the very beginning. In the 5th year of his reign, he embarked on a bold campaign against the Hittite Empire at Kadesh, a land that now lies in modern Syria. In a tale that teeters on the edge of calamity, Ramses found himself distanced from the bulk of his forces. Yet against all odds, he emerged triumphant, purportedly fending off a multitude of foes all on his own, waiting for the timely arrival of reinforcements. The truth of the battle may have leaned towards a stalemate, yet Ramses' masterful narrative spun it into Egypt's most glorious victory, immortalized on temple walls across the land with ever more intricate details. In the year 1258 BCE, a remarkable campaign unfolded, culminating in the world's first recorded peace treaty. Carved in the ancient scripts of hieroglyphics and Hittite cuneiform, this remarkable agreement laid down the foundations of boundaries, forged a military alliance, and outlined extradition policies between the two mighty superpowers. Once upon a time, a treaty emerged that would echo through the ages, its significance so profound that a replica now graces the halls of the United Nations in New York, standing as a testament to the art of ancient diplomacy. In a tale woven through time, Ramses' beloved queen, the enchanting Nefertari, was bestowed with remarkable accolades, both in her vibrant life and in the echoes of her legacy after she departed this world. In the Valley of the Queens lies her tomb, a treasure trove of artistry from ancient Egypt, where exquisite paintings adorned with vibrant colors have withstood the test of time for over 3 millennia. Upon her passing, Ramses set forth to create a grand temple at Abu Simbel, a magnificent tribute to her and the revered goddess Hathor. One of the most revealing aspects of Ramses's character was his habit of claiming existing monuments as his own. Across the vast landscapes of Egypt, ancient statues and grand edifices bore the mark of his cartouche, often overshadowing the names of those who ruled before him. This was not just a display of pride. It was a meticulously crafted plan aimed at securing his eternal presence in the world. In essence, he was crafting a new tale, placing himself at the heart of Egypt's saga. The quest for eternal life that Ramses pursued through stone turned out to be astonishingly fruitful. His name echoes through the ages, a testament to a legacy that began to fray almost as soon as he departed from this world. Though Ramses had placed himself at the heart of Egypt's tale, the unfolding chapters unveiled how swiftly even the grandest legacies can diminish. From the very start, the troubles of succession unfolded. In the grand tapestry of history, we find Merneptah, the 13th son of Ramses, stepping into the light of kingship in his 60s, a seasoned figure ready to embrace the weight of the crown. In a time of great turmoil, he stood firm against the Libyan invasions and the relentless incursions of the Sea Peoples. His triumphs were immortalized on the renowned Israel Stele, a remarkable artifact that holds the earliest known written mention of Israel. Yet despite these victories, his reign heralded the onset of Egypt's gradual decline. In the wake of his passing, a tumultuous struggle for power emerged, marked by fierce disputes over succession and a series of fleeting reigns. In the wake of the 20th dynasty, a fervent quest emerged to reclaim the splendor of yesteryears. Rulers in their ambition took on the revered name Ramses, seeking to channel the might and legacy of their illustrious forebear. In a grand procession, the figures of Ramses III to Ramses XI emerged, each one a shadow of the last, striving to capture the fading glory of Egypt's past, even as its true power slipped away. This naming convention unveils the depths of ancient Egyptian thought. Names held a profound significance, and by embracing the name of history's most triumphant pharaoh, these rulers sought to harness his formidable essence. In the tapestry of history, Ramses III emerges as a remarkable figure, often regarded as the final pharaoh of the new kingdom to wield genuine power and influence. In the shadowy depths of history, a formidable force known as the Sea Peoples emerged, a coalition of seafaring marauders from diverse corners of the Mediterranean. Around 1175 BCE, they unleashed chaos upon the eastern Mediterranean, toppling the Hittite Empire and other great civilizations. Yet amidst the turmoil, one figure stood, resolute: Ramses III. Against all odds, he achieved what many deemed impossible. He triumphed over these enigmatic invaders. In the grand tapestry of history, the battle scenes etched upon the walls of his mortuary temple at Medinet Habu reveal a vivid tableau. Egyptian archers, poised and fierce, unleash their arrows into the hulls of enemy ships, while the pharaoh's navy encircles the invaders with strategic precision. The words echo: "For those who have crossed my threshold, their essence is lost, their spirit and being are extinguished for all eternity." Yet this triumph came at a great cost. The vast military spending sapped Egypt's resources, leaving the civilization unable to regain its former glory on the world stage. In the midst of economic turmoil, a significant event unfolded: the first recorded labor strike in history. The royal tomb workers at Deir el-Medina, driven by their plight, decided to abandon their posts, when the promised grain rations were delayed for months. The conclusion of Ramses III's saga was as tumultuous as the journey of his rule. In a tale steeped in intrigue, a coalition of royal wives, officials, and priests conspired to eliminate the king and elevate a minor prince to the throne. In a remarkable twist of fate, modern CT scans of Ramses III's mummy have unveiled a chilling secret: a fatal throat wound likely inflicted by a knife. In a tale as old as time, the whispers of the ancient judicial papyri came to life, revealing that the conspiracy indeed succeeded in bringing down the pharaoh. Yet the hands of fate were swift as the plotters met their end, caught and executed for their treachery. The pharaohs who came after encountered a growing tide of challenges from every direction. In a time long past, the Valley of the Kings fell prey to a wave of tomb robberies as thieves driven by greed began to systematically plunder its sacred grounds, an act that would have been unimaginable in the days of old. In the ancient scrolls of the tomb robbery, we uncover the gripping tales of investigations and trials where thieves, under the weight of torment, confessed to the sacrilege of royal burials in their desperate quest for hidden treasures. Even the tomb of Ramses II faced the hand of fate as investigators uncovered the shattered sepulchres of the royal children hidden within this sacred site. As the grip of central authority loosened, power began to flow into the hands of regional leaders, reshaping the landscape of governance. In the grand halls of Karnak, the high priests of Amun emerged as powerful figures wielding authority akin to that of independent rulers. They governed extensive temple estates, and in time embraced the symbols of royalty marking their ascent in the tapestry of history. In a bold move, Herihor etched his name into royal cartouches, boldly proclaiming himself the king of southern Egypt. Meanwhile, the last Ramessid kings clung to a semblance of power from their stronghold in Pi-Ramses to the north. As Ramses XI's reign drew to a close around 1069 BCE, the landscape of Egypt had undergone a profound transformation. Once, a mighty kingdom stood tall, revered by all who knew of its grandeur. But now, it lies in pieces, its unity shattered. As foreign influences wove their way into the fabric of Egyptian society, the nation found itself in the midst of the Third Intermediate Period. It was a time marked by the rise of Libyan military commanders who carved out their own dynasties and the eventual ascent of Nubian kings from the south, transforming former vassals into powerful overlords. Once, a grand empire stretched from Syria to Sudan, but now it lay before us as a rich tapestry of rival factions, where priests held sway over pharaohs and foreign generals boldly asserted their divine right to rule as Egyptian kings. This was not merely a matter of political division. It represented a profound reversal of all that had defined Egypt for more than a millennium. In the year 1069 BCE, as the last pharaoh of the new kingdom stepped down from power, Egypt found itself on the brink of a significant metamorphosis. Once upon a time, the nation found itself divided into distinct regions, each blossoming with its own centers of influence, vying for supremacy in a tale of rivalry and ambition. In the north, a new capital emerged at Tanis in the Nile Delta, where pharaohs of the 21st dynasty maintained the trappings of royal authority, but controlled only a fraction of Egypt's former territory. In the heart of Thebes, the high priests of Amun wove a tapestry of power, crafting a religious state that held sway over the land. With their own military might at their command, they ruled the southern region with an air of independence that was nearly absolute. The unexpected alliance in governance signified a remarkable shift in the political landscape of Egypt. In the grand tapestry of ancient power, the high priests held dominion over the expansive temple estates, and the treasury of Amun, wielding economic influence that could rival or even surpass that of the northern pharaohs. In a time of intrigue and power, these priest-kings crafted their own dating systems, navigated foreign affairs with a deft hand, and donned regal titles, all the while weaving a narrative of fealty to the far-off Tanite rulers. This era stood out for its transformative view on the nature of power. In the ancient world, the essence of pharaonic power was deeply intertwined with the notion of divine rule and a tightly woven tapestry of centralized governance. In this era, Egypt resembled a tapestry woven from the threads of allied states, rather than a singular unified kingdom. The idea of dual authority, intertwining the sacred and the worldly, marked a significant departure from the political beliefs that once defined Egypt's history. Amidst the shifting sands of political fragmentation, the essence of Egyptian culture thrived, weaving itself into the fabric of new realities instead of fading away into the shadows of history. In the ancient realm of Tanis, a royal necropolis whispered secrets of the past, revealing remarkable treasures among them. The tomb of Pharaoh Susanez I, a ruler of the illustrious 21st dynasty. In a striking contrast to the well-known golden grandeur of Tutankhamun's resting place, Susanez found her final repose within a beautifully crafted silver sarcophagus, a metal revered in ancient Egypt for its rarity and considered more precious than gold. In the year 1939, Pierre Montaigne stumbled upon a tomb that would go largely unnoticed as the world was engulfed in the chaos of World War II. Yet the true tale of transformation unfolded when Libyan military commanders, heirs to a lineage of mercenaries who had made their home in Egypt long ago, rose to power and forged the 22nd dynasty around 945 BCE. In a remarkable turn of events, Shawshank-Raz, the illustrious founder of the dynasty, succeeded in momentarily bringing together the lands of Egypt under his rule. His military campaigns ventured far beyond the borders of Egypt, encompassing an invasion of Judah and Israel. This significant event is chronicled not only in Egyptian texts, but also finds its place in the Hebrew Bible, where it recounts the sacking of Jerusalem by Shishak, the king of Egypt. The Libyan pharaohs wove together the rich tapestry of Egyptian cultural traditions, all the while threading in their own innovative practices. They wove a tapestry of influence by placing family members in pivotal military and religious roles, crafting a web of devoted vassals instead of depending on the conventional bureaucratic structure. This thoughtful approach to governance embraced regional autonomy, all the while ensuring a steady hand at the center. As the 8th century BCE dawned, the intricate tapestry of this system began to fray at the edges. In a time of great upheaval, the 22nd dynasty splintered, giving rise to rival Libyan families who forged the competing 23rd dynasty. In ancient Egypt, there were moments when several pharaohs held sway over various regions, each asserting their rightful claim to the throne. In a world where political marriages forged fleeting alliances, the dance of betrayals and the relentless tide of power shifts wove a tale of intrigue and uncertainty. The tale of royal succession unfolds like a winding path where brothers, sons, and even valiant generals from beyond the royal lineage vie for the coveted throne, each claiming their rightful place in a saga of power and ambition. Amidst the swirling chaos of political upheaval, the rhythm of daily life in Egypt marched on unwavering and resilient. In the heart of the land, communities thrived by weaving intricate webs of trade among themselves, relying on the rich tapestry of regional connections, rather than the distant allure of the kingdom's vast international markets. Artistic traditions transformed over time, giving rise to unique regional styles in sculpture architecture and funerary practices. Amidst the ebb and flow of political tides, the sacred rituals of the temple endured a steadfast beacon of faith that weathered the storms of change. While the temple rituals flowed seamlessly amidst the political turmoil of Egypt, a formidable energy was quietly amassing in the distant south. Beyond the first cataract, and even the second, the ancient kingdom of Kush was poised to reshape the narrative of Egyptian history in a manner that would take everyone by surprise. In the year 745 BCE, as the regional powers of Egypt engaged in their petty disputes, a band of Kushite warriors made their way across the border. They were not mere invaders. They saw themselves as the champions of a civilization they held in profound respect. The Kushite rulers of the 25th dynasty perceived their actions not as an invasion from afar, but as a sacred calling from the heavens. In a time of great significance, King Paya, known to some as Payankei, the illustrious founder of the dynasty, led his devoted army northward, driven by a profound sense of divine mission. The renowned victory Stela unearthed at Napata unveils that his aspirations extended far beyond simple territorial desires. In the face of the Egyptian nobles, he unveiled his deep dismay at their ritual impurity. They approached him unclean, having failed to honor the sacred temples entrusted to their care. How can one find themselves in the sacred abode of Horus with impure forms? Paya is said to have made demands of the Egyptian princes who yielded to him. In a departure from the actions of past conquerors who pillaged Egypt's riches, Paya chose to uphold the sanctity of ritual purity during his campaign. As he approached the gates of Memphis, he immersed himself in the waters of the sacred lake, cleansing his spirit and honoring the divine with offerings, a testament to his deep reverence for the ancient ways of the Egyptians. For centuries, the Kushite kings embraced and wove the rich tapestry of Egyptian culture into their own narrative. In their realm, they inscribed tales in hieroglyphs, crafted pyramids that rose steeply, though not as grand as those of ancient Egypt, and paid homage to the gods of the Nile. The royal burial grounds of El Kuru and Nuri unveil a deep dedication to Egyptian funerary traditions enriched with unique Nubian influences. Upon their conquest of Egypt, they found themselves immersed in a culture they had long embraced, as if they were already part of its very fabric. In a remarkable turn of events, Paya's son, Shabaka, skillfully unified the Kushite realm, shifting the heart of administration to the illustrious city of Thebes. He showcased his dedication to the rich tapestry of Egyptian traditions through the careful collection and preservation of ancient religious texts. In the annals of history, the renowned Shabaka stone held within its depths what was said to be a fragile remnant of a worm-eaten papyrus from ancient times, safeguarding the creation myths passed down by the Memphite priests of the earliest dynasties. In the annals of history, one figure stands out among the Kushite pharaohs, Taharka. His reign marked a remarkable chapter in Egypt's fleeting revival, as a formidable regional force. His time in power was characterized by grand construction endeavors across the lands of Egypt and Nubia. In the grand expanse of Karnak, he brought to life a breathtaking colonnade where towering columns rose majestically, each crowned with intricate papyrus capitals. In the lands of Kawa and Nubia, he crafted magnificent temples that stood proudly alongside the grand structures of Egypt itself. Taharka's monuments showcased unique artistic elements of the Kushite culture, portraying royal figures with powerful physiques, wide shoulders, and striking facial features that diverged from the conventional Egyptian royal portrait style. In a remarkable resurgence, the Kushite pharaohs breathed new life into Egyptian architecture, reminiscent of the grandeur of Ramses II. The remnants of the past reveal their dedication as they restored forgotten temples, mended the scars of time on monuments, and rekindled the vibrant spirit of artistic craftsmanship. Their building program transcended mere aesthetics. It served as a powerful political declaration of their legitimacy and their duty as guardians of Egyptian tradition. In a time of great upheaval, the Nubian dynasty found its reign contested by the formidable ascent of the Assyrian Empire, led by the powerful kings Esarhaddon and Ashurbanipal. In the annals of Assyrian history, the chronicles unfold tales of campaigns waged against Kush and Egypt, weaving them together as if they were one intertwined saga. In the year 671 BCE, the mighty forces of Esarhaddon descended upon Memphis, laying waste to the city and forcing Taharka to retreat further south. In a tale of power and persistence, the Kushites momentarily reclaimed Lower Egypt. Yet the relentless advance of Assyrian forces ultimately compelled them to withdraw to their ancestral lands in Nubia. The significance of the 25th dynasty reaches far beyond their fleeting reign over Egypt. Their deep respect for the traditions of Egypt played a crucial role in safeguarding religious texts and artistic practices that could have faded into obscurity. In a remarkable twist of fate, a unique chapter unfolds in the annals of world history, where the conquered find themselves under the governance of those who perceive themselves as the genuine guardians of the very culture they have subdued. In a time long past, the Kushite guardians of Egyptian heritage found themselves standing at a crossroads, their resolve challenged not by internal strife, but by an unyielding force of military might, a name that echoed dread throughout the realms of antiquity. In the heart of the Near East, the Assyrian Empire surged forth wielding iron weapons and employing intricate siege engines, all while mastering the art of brutal warfare. Their westward expansion unfolded with a relentless and devastating precision. As the mid-7th century BCE unfolded, their gaze shifted toward the riches of Egypt, heralding a dramatic confrontation between time-honored customs and the dawn of military ingenuity. In the year 671 BCE, the Assyrian king, Esarhaddon, embarked on a campaign that would herald the dawn of a transformative chapter in the annals of Egyptian history. In a stark contrast to those who came before them, the Assyrians arrived not to embrace the rich tapestry of Egyptian culture, but with a fierce might and a calculated approach that left little room for sentiment. With a deftness that spoke of mastery, their army navigated the Delta region, unveiling strategies that left the Egyptian forces bewildered and unprepared. In the annals of history, the Assyrians emerged as formidable architects of fear. With a chilling precision, they would impale captives, flay their enemies alive, and construct towering pyramids of severed heads, all to instill fear and quash any resistance long before the clash of battle commenced. As Taharqa withdrew to the south after the fall of Memphis, the Assyrians executed a carefully crafted plan to secure their dominance. In the ancient lands of northern Egypt, the vast expanse was carved into smaller realms, each governed by local leaders who willingly offered their allegiance to the mighty Assyria. This clever strategy of division thwarted any chance of a united front, enabling the Assyrians to reap the greatest rewards in wealth through tribute and taxes. The Assyrian hold over Egypt was a challenging endeavor to sustain from a distance. With the passing of Esarhaddon in 669 BCE, Taharqa saw a chance to take back Memphis. This incited a formidable reaction from the newly crowned Assyrian monarch, Ashurbanipal, who sent forth a mighty army that once more pushed Taharqa back to the south. Ashurbanipal's inscriptions vividly depict his forces crushing Egypt beneath them, akin to a bull trampling over grass, showcasing not only the brutality of the conquest, but also the Assyrian talent for crafting fearsome narratives. In the year 663 BCE, a tale of ultimate humiliation unfolded as Ashurbanipal's forces relentlessly chased Taharqa's successor, Tantamani, to the very gates of Thebes. In a time long past, the revered city, a beacon of faith for countless generations in Egypt, faced the harrowing fate of a brutal pillaging. From an Assyrian viewpoint, this triumph carved a path into Egypt that no other foreign force had ever achieved before. The plundering of Thebes did more than strip away riches. It assailed the core of Egypt's spiritual essence. With this devastating defeat, the Kushite dynasty's reign in Egypt came to a dramatic close, compelling them to withdraw for good to their ancestral lands in Nubia. In the wake of events, Ashurbanipal appointed Psamtik to reign over Sais. Once a steadfast ally of the Assyrian Psamtik, would ultimately seize the opportunity presented by Assyria's mounting troubles in distant lands to reclaim Egypt's sovereignty. Through a series of carefully crafted marriages and alliances with mercenary forces, especially those from Greece, he skillfully navigated the political landscape. His patient and strategic approach ultimately led to the gradual reunification of Egypt, culminating in the establishment of the 26th dynasty, the final notable native Egyptian royal house. In the tapestry of history, the Assyrian period wove intricate patterns that forever altered the fabric of Egyptian society. Their intricate bureaucratic practices wove a tapestry that shaped the very fabric of Egyptian administrative systems. In the ancient world, the scribes wove together the threads of Mesopotamian record-keeping into their narratives. During this period, the art of Egypt reveals delicate threads of Assyrian influence weaving together royal imagery amidst the vivid tapestry of battle scenes. With the arrival of foreign mercenaries, especially the Greeks and Carians, the military underwent a profound transformation, ensuring their presence would become a lasting element in the Egyptian armies. The archaeological findings from Thebes reveal a tale that is far more intricate than what the Assyrian narratives imply. Despite the scars of destruction, numerous temples persevered in their purpose, and the journey of restoration commenced with a sense of urgency and hope. Through the trials faced the strength of Egyptian institutions, wove a tapestry of cultural continuity, ensuring that the essence of their heritage endured despite the shadows of a traumatic event. Yet the echoes of its psychological impact lingered deeply. The Egyptians' faith in their land's divine shield against foreign invaders had begun to wane. From the ashes of foreign domination arose an Egypt resolute in its quest to reclaim its identity, weaving a captivating tale of innovation, intertwined with a deep reverence for its ancient past. Amidst the remnants of Thebes, a surprising transformation awaited one that intertwined the splendor of Egypt's golden era with the fresh currents of a changing global landscape. Once a mere puppet of the Assyrian Psamtik I, rose to become the revered savior of Egypt. In the year 664 BCE, a remarkable journey began as he took hold of the Delta region. With determination and vision, he set forth, gradually moving southward, weaving together the threads of a once fractured nation into a unified tapestry. His greatest achievement unfolded through the art of negotiation rather than the clash of arms. He entrusted his daughter Nitocris to Thebes, where she was embraced by the influential divine adoratores of Amun, seamlessly intertwining the northern royal lineage with the southern religious power. In the era of the 26th dynasty, the rulers crafted a remarkable revival, a period that historians have come to know as the Sate Renaissance, drawing its name from the vibrant capital of Sais. This was not just a return to politics, but a conscious awakening of culture. In the grand halls of the palace, skilled artisans immersed themselves in the ancient art of tomb reliefs, meticulously replicating the styles that had stood the test of time for millennia. With great care, the scribes unearthed long-lost texts and sacred formulas from the depths of time. The new temple architecture echoed the proportions and layouts of the ancient kingdom, weaving a tapestry of timeless continuity, even as the world surrounding Egypt underwent profound transformation. This cultural nostalgia transcended mere aesthetics. It was a calculated endeavor. In their quest for legitimacy, the Sayyid pharaohs wove a narrative that linked them to the illustrious Golden Age of Egypt, reinforcing their authority over a nation weary from the weight of foreign rule spanning centuries. In a realm where the past intertwines with the present, they crafted a sanctuary of revival, transforming temples into vessels of time, safeguarding age-old customs amidst the unpredictable tides of tomorrow. Yet in a curious twist, this was also the time when Egypt found itself most intertwined with the world beyond its borders. In the ancient world, Greek mercenaries and traders ventured forth, laying down roots in distant lands. Among these, Naucrates, in the western delta, emerged as a beacon of their endeavors, receiving a unique status from Pharaoh Amasis II around 570 BCE, marking a significant chapter in the tapestry of history. In the dawn of history, this first authorized Greek colony emerged as a vibrant marketplace, a lively crossroads where Mediterranean merchants eagerly traded their prized olive oil and fine wine for the rich bounty of Egyptian grain and the delicate sheets of papyrus. In the depths of the earth, a tale unfolds as archaeological excavations bring to light thousands of Greek pottery fragments nestled alongside Egyptian artifacts, painting a vivid picture of a rich cultural exchange that once thrived. In the era of the 26th dynasty, the military found its strength in the ranks of foreign warriors, notably the formidable bronze men, a term the Egyptians used to refer to the Greeks. They were bestowed with land grants, nurtured families, and slowly wove themselves into the fabric of Egyptian society. Some embraced the rich tapestry of Egyptian religious practices, crafting statues and stelae that wove together Greek proportions with the captivating imagery of Egyptian iconography. In the midst of this flourishing era, the delicate balance of Egypt's geopolitical standing lingered on the edge of uncertainty. In a time of great upheaval, the Neo-Babylonian Empire, led by the formidable Nebuchadnezzar II, emerged victorious over the Assyrians, paving the way for Egypt to momentarily extend its reach into the Levant. In a time of great ambition, Pharaoh Necho II set forth on daring endeavors, one of which was the grand vision of linking the mighty Nile to the distant Red Sea through an intricate canal system. This remarkable engineering challenge would remain a dream, only to be realized centuries down the line. With the rise of Cyrus the Great, the Persian Empire unfolded, reshaping the very fabric of power in the ancient world. In a time of peril, Pharaoh Amasis II deftly maneuvered through treacherous waters, weaving alliances with the Greek city-states and the illustrious Lydian king Croesus, all in a bid to stand firm against the looming shadow of Persian expansion. For more than 40 years, his foreign policy wove a tapestry of prosperity and independence for Egypt. Yet the looming confrontation lay in wait for the one who would follow in his footsteps. In the year 525 BCE, the mighty Persian king Cambyses II set his sights on Egypt, where he clashed with Pharaoh Psamtik III at the fateful Battle of Pelusium, emerging victorious in this epic confrontation. According to Egyptian accounts, Cambyses cleverly wielded psychological tactics by positioning cats sacred to the Egyptians before his advancing army, fully aware that the Egyptian soldiers would falter in their resolve to shoot arrows, fearing the harm of these venerated beings. This tale, though perhaps embellished, captures the profound cultural divide between the sacred beliefs of Egypt and the practical approaches of outsiders. With the Persian conquest, a new chapter unfolded, marking the dawn of the 27th dynasty, the first ruling house to emerge from beyond its borders. While the Egyptian administration largely persisted under the watchful eye of the Persians, the impact of this oversight left a deep and resonant mark. In the annals of history, the spirit of native resistance ignited from time to time, with the 28th through 30th dynasties marking fleeting moments of independence amidst the relentless tide of Persian reconquests. With each passing restoration, the duration dwindled a fleeting echo of what once was. In the year 343 BCE, the last native pharaoh, Nectanebo II, made his escape to Nubia, as the relentless Persian forces reclaimed Egypt for the last time. In the year 525 BCE, a grand tale of empires clashed upon the sands of Egypt as Cambyses II commanded the mighty Achaemenid Persian forces to confront Pharaoh Psamtik III in the epic Battle of Pelusium. The clash transformed into a tale of legend not solely for its result, but for Cambyses' masterful manipulation of the mind. In a time long past, the Egyptians held cats in the highest reverence, viewing them as sacred beings. It is said that Persian soldiers, in their quest for victory, would carry these revered creatures into battle or adorn their shields with the likeness of these majestic felines. In a moment of hesitation, the Egyptian archers found themselves torn, unwilling to unleash their arrows upon the sacred beings before them. This pause in their resolve granted the Persians a pivotal edge, ultimately leading to their triumph on the battlefield. Upon his triumph over Egypt, Cambyses did not merely enforce the customs of Persia. In a bold move, he embraced the grandeur of traditional Egyptian royal titles and imagery, crafting his identity as a rightful pharaoh, even as he wielded power as a Persian ruler. In a tale of strategy and adaptation, This practical method gave rise to the 27th dynasty, where an outside force governed while weaving itself into the rich tapestry of established cultural traditions. To truly grasp the essence of Egypt, the Persians recognized that it demanded more than just the strength of arms. It required a sense of cultural authenticity that connected deeply with the local community. The sweeping changes in administration during the Persian reign were nothing short of extensive. Egypt transformed into a satrapy, weaving itself into the expansive tapestry of the Achaemenid Empire's provincial system. In a remarkable display of governance, the Persians crafted a complex bureaucracy where Persian officials and Egyptian administrators joined forces, weaving together their strengths in a harmonious collaboration. In a realm where Persian rule held sway, the intricate dance of governance unfolded through the skilled hands of Egyptian advisors. This delicate balance of power not only preserved harmony, but also ensured the flow of riches from the land. The Persian kings wove a tapestry of political acumen through their intricate religious policies. Though the Hay held Zoroastrian beliefs close to their heart, they engaged in the vibrant tapestry of Egyptian religious life, contributing to temples and commissioning art that depicted their involvement in sacred rituals dedicated to the gods of Egypt. In a remarkable turn of events, King Darius III took it upon himself to codify the laws of Egypt. This act not only showcased his role as a guardian of ancient traditions, but also solidified the unwavering grip of Persian power over the land. Yet hidden beneath the surface of seeming harmony, the Persian reign imposed a heavy burden of taxation and relentless resource extraction. In a time of great challenge, the Egyptians found themselves under the weight of significant financial strains as the Persian rulers called for a steady flow of tribute in gold, grain, and various other goods. The burdens of exploitation, intertwined with the heavy shadows of foreign dominion, ignited a series of uprisings during the First Persian period. In the 460s BCE, a remarkable uprising unfolded under the leadership of Inarostakhen, a tale of courage that momentarily restored parts of Egypt to its people, only to be met with the overwhelming might of Persian forces that ultimately quelled the rebellion. In 404 BCE, the long-held aspiration for independence in Egypt blossomed into reality. Seizing the moment, amidst the turmoil of the Persian Empire, local leaders rose to prominence, founding the 28th through 30th dynasties. For a fleeting 60 years, a vibrant chapter of local governance unfolded, marked by pharaohs such as Nectanebo I, who poured resources into the grand construction of temples and the flourishing of culture. They endeavored to wipe away the echoes of Persian rule, all the while fortifying Egypt's stronghold against the looming threat of foreign dominion. In the year 343 BCE, the Second Persian conquest, led by Artaxerxes III, unfolded, showcasing the empire's waning tolerance for the defiance of Egypt. In stark contrast to the more lenient ways of previous Persian governance, this occupation ushered in an era marked by severe oppression. In a calculated sweep, the Persian forces descended upon the sacred temples, stripping them of their treasures. They imposed harsh financial burdens that left the people reeling, dismantled the very walls that once stood as a shield, and silenced the voices of defiance by executing those who dared to resist. Once revered by Persian rulers, the Egyptian priesthood now found itself under siege as their authority and resources were challenged, igniting a growing tide of resentment among the Egyptian people. Just 8 years later, the mighty Persian authority began to wane as Alexander the Great's formidable Macedonian army surged through the vast expanse of the Persian Empire. Upon his arrival in Egypt in 332 BCE, Alexander faced minimal opposition. Instead, many Egyptians embraced him as a savior from the chains of Persian rule. At the mystical Siwa oasis, the priests of the oracle proclaimed Alexander as a son of Amun, bestowing upon him a divine legitimacy that eluded even the mighty Persians. This sacred affirmation elevated Alexander from mere conqueror to a ruler blessed by the divine in the eyes of the Egyptians. With the blessing of the Egyptian priests, Alexander embarked on a remarkable journey that would forever alter the landscape of Egypt. Imagine a military mastermind having triumphed over vast territories, choosing to establish a city on the sands of Egypt, a city that promises to outshine all others in the ancient Mediterranean. What unfolds in this tale of ambition and grandeur? Alexander's dream for Egypt transcended the simple act of conquest. In 331 BCE, following his divine coronation at Memphis as pharaoh, he embarked on a monumental decision that would forever alter the course of the Mediterranean world. He envisioned the foundation of Alexandria on a carefully selected stretch of land nestled between Lake Mareotis and the Mediterranean Sea, a site chosen for its natural harbor and strategic defensive benefits. In the annals of history, the remarkable architect Democritus of Rhodes crafted a city that breathed life into the Hellenistic grid pattern. With its expansive boulevards and vibrant quarters, each space resonated with the essence of its diverse ethnic communities. In the heart of Egypt, Alexandria emerged as Alexander's most treasured gem, a brilliant embodiment of his vision for blending cultures. In this vibrant city, the distinct quarters of Greek, Egyptian, and Jewish communities intertwined, weaving together the rich tapestry of one of history's earliest multicultural metropolises. This was not just a practical arrangement. It embodied Alexander's grand vision of harmonizing Eastern and Western traditions, a concept that historians have come to recognize as his policy of homonoia, concord, or unity. In the grand tapestry of history, Alexander donned the mantle of a traditional pharaoh, weaving together the threads of Macedonian efficiency and the rich fabric of Egyptian bureaucratic traditions through his innovative administrative reforms. He chose the Greek Cleomenes of Naucratis to serve as the financial administrator, all the while keeping Egyptian officials and local roles intact. This delicate maneuvering skillfully avoided the cultural clashes that had previously weakened Persian authority. Alexander recognized that the art of leadership demanded a delicate balance of understanding diverse cultures and implementing practical structures. In a remarkable departure from the conquerors of old, Alexander embraced a spirit of extraordinary religious tolerance. He took part in the grand ceremonies of Egypt at Memphis, presenting offerings at the majestic temples scattered across the land. His remarkable skill was evident in how he seamlessly embodied the essence of Egypt to the people, all while maintaining his Macedonian identity before his troops. In the rich tapestry of Egyptian narratives, he donned the iconic attire of the pharaohs. As he stood before his troops, he embraced the essence of his Macedonian heritage. This cultural code switching wove a captivating tapestry that strengthened his influence across varied communities. Once Alexandria was founded and the wheels of Egypt's administration began to turn, Alexander set forth in the spring of 331 BCE eager to press on with his campaign against Persia. He had made a vow to never set foot in Egypt again. In the span of 8 years, his remarkable conquests reached the very edges of India, forging one of the grandest empires in history. In the sweltering heat of June 323, BCE fever took him in Babylon, leaving his vast empire teetering on the brink of chaos as succession crises erupted in its wake. In the wake of his passing, his generals, known as the Diadochi, embarked on a fierce struggle for dominion over various territories. The Battle of Egypt held great importance. Ptolemy, a steadfast companion of Alexander, since their youth, cleverly outwitted his adversaries with a daring move. In a daring act, he seized the funeral procession of Alexander, destined for Macedonia, and transported the great conqueror's preserved remains to the sands of Egypt. Through the mastery of Alexander's remains, Ptolemy wove a narrative that solidified his claim to Egypt, proclaiming himself as satrap, the governor of the land. In the year 305 BCE, he boldly declared himself King Ptolemy Soter, establishing the Ptolemaic dynasty that would reign for almost 300 years. In the era of Ptolemy I and his lineage, Alexandria blossomed into a vibrant hub of intellect and trade, standing as the heart of the Hellenistic world. In the heart of the city stood the magnificent lighthouse of Pharaohs, a beacon of brilliance among the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Nearby, the great library of Alexandria rose majestically, a sanctuary of wisdom that cradled countless scrolls, all in pursuit of gathering the vast tapestry of human knowledge. In the grand tapestry of history, the Ptolemies wove a remarkable thread by founding the Museum, the very first research institute. This beacon of knowledge drew in brilliant minds such as Euclid, Archimedes, and Eratosthenes, each contributing to the rich narrative of intellectual pursuit. The splendid monuments of Alexandria reveal but a fragment of the tale of Ptolemaic Egypt. In the shadows of cultural triumph, there existed a royal family, their lineage weaving a complex tapestry with every passing generation. In a world where Greek monarchs donned the rich robes of Egyptian customs in the public eye, they wove intricate webs of betrayal and ambition behind closed doors. Their palace intrigues unfolded like a dramatic tapestry, filled with twists and turns that would leave even the most sensational modern dramas in the dust. When Ptolemy Thrush donned the crown of Pharaoh in 305 BCE, he set in motion the creation of a legacy that would echo through the ages. He wove together a rich tapestry of cultures that would reign over the Mediterranean for generations to come. The Ptolemies wove a rich tapestry of identity, skillfully embodying the role of pharaohs to their Egyptian subjects, all the while preserving their Greek heritage among their Hellenic peers. They poured resources into grand temple complexes across Egypt, such as the magnificent Temple of Horus at Edfu and the Temple of Hathor at Dendera, where the rich tapestry of traditional Egyptian religious imagery thrived, interwoven with delicate Greek influences and architectural nuances. In a realm where tradition reigned supreme, the dynasty unveiled a practice that left many in disbelief: sibling marriage. This was a concept that had been unthinkable in Greek culture, yet it echoed the ancient customs of Egyptian royalty, weaving a tale of intrigue and complexity. It all began with Ptolemy II, who took his own sister Arsinoe II as his bride. This intriguing practice persisted through the ages, all in the name of safeguarding the sanctity of royal lineage. Instead of fortifying the dynasty, these unions gave rise to rulers whose stability waned with each passing generation. The later Ptolemies were marked by a tapestry of genetic disorders and tempestuous natures, weaving a narrative of palace conspiracies and familial strife that defined their reign. The court life in Ptolemaic Alexandria unfolded with a stunning ferocity. In a tale woven with betrayal, mothers conspired against their own sons. Brothers turned on each other in deadly schemes, and wives executed their plans with chilling accuracy against their husbands. In a dark twist of fate, Ptolemy IV orchestrated the murder of his own mother, Berenice II. In a dark twist of fate, Ptolemy VIII marked his triumphant return to power with a gruesome act dismembering his own nephew and presenting the severed pieces to his sister wife Cleopatra II as a chilling birthday gift. These events were not mere anomalies. They were emblematic of the dynasty's ruthless and violent internal power struggles. In the midst of chaos, the Ptolemies wove a tapestry of brilliance, turning Alexandria into a beacon of knowledge unrivaled in the annals of the ancient world. They enriched the vast library's trove by employing bold and strategic methods of acquisition. As vessels approached the welcoming shores of Alexandria, they were met with a curious decree. Any tomes aboard must be relinquished for the purpose of duplication, with only the faithful reproductions returned to their rightful keepers. In the heart of the library, brilliant minds gathered mathematicians such as Eratosthenes, who skillfully measured the Earth's circumference, and Euclid, whose groundbreaking elements laid the groundwork for geometry that would endure for centuries. In the vibrant era of Ptolemaic patronage, figures such as Callimachus and Theocritus emerged, weaving intricate literary forms that would leave an indelible mark on Roman authors for generations to come. As the sun dipped low, casting long shadows over the Mediterranean, the once mighty dynasty found itself teetering on the edge of collapse. In the year 168 BCE, a pivotal moment unfolded as the Roman diplomat Gaius Popilius Leonis etched a circle in the sand around Ptolemy VIII. With a commanding presence, he demanded that the king withdraw from Cyprus before he dared to step outside the confines of that circle. This humbling surrender signified the waning power of Egypt's sovereignty. In the era of Ptolemy V, the Rosetta Stone emerged as a curious artifact, whispering tales of a dynasty whose strength was slowly waning. In the midst of honoring the pharaoh's alleged triumphs, the trilingual inscription reveals a deeper narrative chronicling the concessions made to rebellious priests and the tax exemptions bestowed to soothe the tides of unrest. This stone, which would later prove essential for unraveling the mysteries of hieroglyphics, unveils the challenges faced by the Ptolemies as they endeavored to hold sway over their ever-discontented realm. As the final century of the dynasty unfolded, the presence of Roman intervention wove itself into the fabric of Egyptian affairs. In the year 58 BCE, Ptolemy XII embarked on a journey to Rome, seeking the favor of Crassus and Pompey to secure much-needed loans, all while placing the financial future of Egypt at stake to uphold his reign. In a tale of ambition and intrigue, his daughter, the renowned Cleopatra VII, would go on to gamble everything on her alliances with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, striving fiercely to safeguard Egypt's sovereignty against the looming shadow of Rome. During their reign, the Ptolemies orchestrated magnificent religious spectacles featuring the cult of Serapis, a blended god crafted to resonate with both Greek and Egyptian sensibilities, showcased in the grand parades of the Ptolemaia festival, which rivaled the Olympic Games in its breathtaking grandeur. In a kingdom beset by the trials of ethnic tensions, economic pressures, and the looming shadow of foreign interference, these cultural innovations emerged as a vital thread weaving together the fabric of social cohesion. As the grand spectacles of Ptolemaic splendor faltered under the encroaching might of Rome, the annals of history beckoned a new kind of leader to steer Egypt through its concluding saga. In a departure from the methods of her forebears, who relied on grand displays and fear Cleopatra wielded a remarkable blend of sharp intellect and strategic finesse, a force that almost preserved Egypt from the clutches of Roman rule. In the year 69 BCE, amidst a dynasty shadowed by treachery and bloodshed, Cleopatra emerged, her education shining brighter than that of those who came before her. In the vibrant halls of Alexandria's intellectual centers, she delved into the depths of Greek philosophy, honed her skills in rhetoric, and unraveled the mysteries of mathematics. What truly set her apart, however, was her remarkable gift with words. Her words flowed effortlessly in 9 different tongues. This extraordinary talent enabled her to engage directly with foreign diplomats, bypassing the need for translators, and most importantly, to converse with native Egyptians in their own language, a feat that had eluded previous Ptolemies for nearly 3 centuries of reign. The journey of Cleopatra to ascend to power was fraught with challenges and uncertainties. In the wake of her father's passing, Ptolemy XII, in the year 51 BCE, Cleopatra found herself thrust into a shared rule with her younger brother, Ptolemy XV. What began as a partnership soon soured, spiraling into a fierce civil war that ultimately forced Cleopatra to flee from the city of Alexandria. Her ascent to power unfolded through a fabled meeting with Julius Caesar, who journeyed to Egypt in pursuit of his adversary Pompey. In a move that would be remembered for ages, Cleopatra chose not to merely beg for Roman aid. Instead, she ingeniously concealed herself within a carpet and made her way into Caesar's chambers. This audacious act showcased the dramatic spirit and political audacity that would define her legacy. In a dramatic turn of events, Caesar brought Cleopatra back to her rightful place on the throne, and from their union Caesarion was born, forging a significant link between her and the might of Rome. Yet this was not merely a tale of love. It unfolded as a meticulously crafted political alliance. In a time of political intrigue, Cleopatra sought the might of Roman forces to solidify her reign, while Caesar, ever the strategist, saw an opportunity to tap into the abundant grain and riches of Egypt. In the fateful year of 44 BCE, as the shadows of betrayal fell upon Caesar, Cleopatra swiftly forged an alliance with Mark Antony, a formidable general of Rome, and a key figure in the ruling triumvirate. Their bond blossomed into a union that intertwined both the realms of politics and personal connection. In the year 41 BCE, Cleopatra welcomed Antony to the vibrant city of Alexandria, enchanting him with lavish feasts that showcased the opulence of Egypt. In her journey, she brought forth 3 children, and in exchange was bestowed with vast territorial grants encompassing Cyprus portions of Cilicia, the lands of Phoenicia, and various regions of Syria. The concessions bolstered Egypt's standing, sending ripples of concern through Rome, particularly for Octavian, the rival of Antony and the adopted son of Caesar. Octavian orchestrated a masterful campaign of persuasion against the couple, depicting Antony as a man ensnared by a foreign queen, forsaking the cherished values of Rome. This portrayal, the alluring Eastern enchantress leading the virtuous Roman astray, would endure for centuries in Western narratives of Cleopatra, masking her genuine political savvy. Archaeological evidence unfolds a different narrative. Coins bearing her image reveal a strong-featured woman marked by a prominent nose and a determined expression, far removed from the idealized beauty portrayed in later Roman art and contemporary films. The cunning strategy bore fruit. As the tides of public sentiment shifted, the Roman populace began to turn against Antony. In the year 32 BCE, Octavian, with cunning persuasion, swayed the Senate to declare war, not upon a fellow Roman, but upon the enigmatic Cleopatra herself. In the year 31 BCE, the stage was set for a monumental clash at Actium. Here, the naval forces of Octavian, led by the skilled Agrippa, faced off against the united fleet of Antony and Cleopatra, culminating in a decisive victory that would alter the course of history. Though they evaded the clash, their strategic standing was beyond repair. In the ancient city of Alexandria, as the formidable forces of Octavian drew near in the year 30 BCE, Antony, consumed by despair, upon hearing the tragic news of Cleopatra's demise, though it was but a cruel deception, met his end by falling on his sword. In a moment of profound despair, Cleopatra, fully aware that she would be displayed as a prisoner in Octavian's grand triumph through Rome, made the fateful decision to end her own life. In the tales spun by the Romans, she orchestrated a clever ruse, having her deadly asps concealed within a basket of figs smuggled to her with cunning precision. Contemporary thinkers engage in lively discussions about the origins of the poison, be it snake venom or another substance, but the outcome remains unchanged. At the tender age of 39, the final pharaoh of Egypt took his last breath, marking the end of an era steeped in mystery and grandeur. The asp that supposedly brought about Cleopatra's demise carried with it a tale far greater than the end of a queen's reign. It signified the ultimate downfall of Egypt's 3,000-year legacy as a sovereign entity. Upon Augustus's return to Rome in 29 BCE, he carried with him not merely the immense riches of Egypt, but also the essence of its identity, now woven into the fabric of imperial authority. In a bold move that set the stage for the future, Augustus seized this territory for his own breaking away from the norm of senatorial control and laying down a legacy that would echo through the ages. Egypt, transformed into the emperor's cherished realm, too precious to be left in the hands of another. In the unfolding tale of the Roman Empire, the newly established province of Aegyptus emerged as a land shrouded in exclusivity, where even the esteemed senators needed special permission to set foot. Augustus, in his wisdom, chose a prefect from the equestrian order to oversee this captivating realm on his behalf. This prefect wielded authority typically granted only to the emperor, a testament to Egypt's esteemed position. In the early days of Roman rule, Cornelius Gallus emerged as the first prefect, setting the stage in Alexandria. With a strategic mind, he established a garrison and systematically quelled the last whispers of Ptolemaic resistance. His triumphs were immortalized in hieroglyphic inscriptions, a testament to his achievements as he embraced the very symbols of the civilization he had brought under Roman control. The remarkable architectural bounty of Egypt wove it into the very fabric of Rome's grandeur. In the heart of the imperial capital, a remarkable tale unfolds as the province becomes the lifeblood of grain supply, delivering a staggering one-third of all consumed. Specialized ships, like steadfast messengers of sustenance, navigate the waters, transporting over 150,000 tons each year to the bustling shores of Tiber. In a tale of necessity, Augustus recognized the vital importance of this economic lifeline, leading him to form a military unit devoted entirely to the protection of grain shipments. In the year 69 CE, as the winds of change swept through the empire, Emperor Vespasian rose to power. His first strategic move was to claim Egypt, for he understood that the key to Rome's heart lay in its grain supply, a lifeline that could bring the mighty city to its knees. In a time of remarkable ingenuity, the Romans wove their engineering prowess into the very fabric of the land, crafting intricate canals, innovative irrigation systems, and groundbreaking agricultural technologies that unlocked the full potential of production. In the Thom region, once flourishing under the Ptolemies, a remarkable transformation unfolded as the Romans, with their mastery of hydraulic engineering, breathed life into once barren lands, turning them into lush, thriving fields. The deepening of this situation bore a heavy price. In the land of the Nile, the farmers toiled under the weight of oppressive taxes, so heavy that entire villages chose to forsake their homes rather than confront the relentless Roman tax collectors. What stands out vividly is the way Roman emperors adopted the grandeur of pharaonic imagery, all the while methodically eroding the independence of Egypt. The temple walls at Dendera Esna and Philae reveal a captivating tableau of Roman emperors engaged in age-old offering rituals, their names elegantly framed within royal cartouches. At Com Ombo, Emperor Tiberius stands in a timeless pose, 1 foot forward, arms held firm, adorned with the double crown, a tableau that echoes the artistry of 2,000 years past. In the heart of New York's Metropolitan Museum lies the temple at Dender, adorned with hieroglyphics that sing the praises of Augustus, the son of Ra, the revered lord of the two lands. In the heart of the Mediterranean, Alexandria stood as a beacon of knowledge, a place where diverse cultures met and wove their stories into a rich tapestry of transformation. In a vibrant tapestry of thought, Greek philosophers engaged in spirited discussions with Jewish theologians such as Philo, while the Egyptian priests, guardians of ancient wisdom, held steadfast to their time-honored traditions, even as their sacred script found itself confined to the hallowed halls of the temple. In the heart of the city, the renowned library stood as a beacon for scholars, its walls whispering tales of knowledge, even as it bore the scars of the tumultuous times brought on by Caesar's Alexandrian War. In a vibrant tapestry of cultures, Roman officials mingled with Greek merchants and Egyptian craftsmen, weaving together a society that stood apart from all others in the ancient world. As the sands of time shifted, the sacred tapestry of tradition began to unravel. Greek and Latin emerged, weaving their way into the fabric of official discourse, while the grand temples still rose majestically under the watchful eyes of early Roman emperors like Caligula and Nero. Yet in the shadows, the quiet rise of Christianity whispered promises of change, slowly wearing away at the ancient customs that once held sway. As the sun set on the 4th century CE, a pivotal moment unfolded when Emperor Theodosius decreed the end of pagan worship, casting a shadow over many once vibrant temples that had already begun to fade into silence. Once the Temple of Isis at Philae rose majestically, a beacon of ancient devotion, enduring as the last vibrant Egyptian temple until the year 537 CE, when the decree of Justinian brought its sacred activities to a close. As Rome established its reign, it wove a tapestry of administrative efficiency with standardized weights measures and currency. Yet within this grand narrative, a darker thread of systematic exploitation emerged. In this land, the province unfolded into around 40 distinct administrative districts, each one carefully chronicled through the meticulous records of census and tax assessments. The Romans perceived Egypt mainly as a treasure trove focused on extraction, rather than cherishing its rich cultural heritage unless it served their imperial narrative. The tale of Egypt unfolds with a spirit of unwavering strength. For 3 millennia, it transformed, welcoming newcomers, honing fresh skills, and intertwining traditions, all the while preserving its distinct Egyptian essence. What lies beneath the surface? Embracing change while staying true to oneself. Join us for more enduring tales and explore our previous episodes.